we are Funk Motorsport, your heat management specialists. Based in the UK, we strive for perfection, developing thermal products trusted by professional race teams and drivers worldwide. Performance, protection, reliability.
Tarmac Sports.
The NEC for round 4 of the British Drift Championships 2019. Last round, king of consistency, Aramis Vasquez took yet another second place, solidifying his spot at the top of the championship. But it was Ricky Lawrence's time to shine, taking top spot and firing him into second place in the standings. With 3 rounds remaining and Vasquez beginning to gap the field, the other drivers will have their eyes firmly set on beating the Lithuanian lunatic, who is ready to risk it all and be the highest roller at the NEC.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the NEC for round 4 of the British Drift Championship 2019, the High Roller. It's going to be a good one. We are about to see the pros battle it out this afternoon, and I am so excited. The qualifying this morning was absolutely incredible, with so much action going on the track, and the championship leader, Aramis Vasquez, is now out of competition. So this is throwing the whole championship into jeopardy. Who knows what's going to happen this afternoon?
Yeah, exactly. Who knows what's going to happen? And look, we said it before, and I keep repeating myself, I feel like, but this championship, and And this round, especially at this point in the championship, it always we wanted to see it get upset, and it has upset the championship. It upset our Prime Championship, and yeah, as you just mentioned, Aramis Vosgelis failed to qualify inside that top 24. As you can see, currently leading the championship, 140 points in the bag for Vosgelis, 103 for Ricky Lawrence. You did a little bit of maths, Sarah, while I was on the phone earlier, and you said to me that Ricky Lawrence needs to finish 6th or higher to take the championship today.
He does. I mean, he's got the potential. It could happen.
He
but
certainly has.
We've said this over the full weekend so far. Anything can happen. Let's see.
Exactly that. Let's see. And it's going to be exciting whatever happens. Qualifying enough was very, very, very exciting. Look, the biggest upset, obviously, Vosgelis going out, but a lot of the guys that we expected to be high up in the order or doing very, very well didn't. You know, they scored very, very low. And obviously, we have a top 24 battle now, and we've already got half of our top 16 battle tree already together. We're going to put the battle tree up on the screen now for you guys, so that. Oh no, sorry. We're actually gonna head to Ricky Lawrence's interview. So we're gonna go head down for an interview with Ricky Lawrence and see how he's feeling ahead of competition.
So coming off from an incredible win at the previous round, but with a few issues on the old ECU, Ricky, have we sorted these problems out now?
Time will tell. Yeah, like you say, we had issues at the last round at Teesside. We had problems with boost control, so the car kept shutting down, which resulted in us switching off all the safety measures and things like that. We had planned on sending the ECU away to Lincoln, New Zealand to be repaired, but there was an issue with the postage. So what we've actually ended up having to do to be here in time is order a new ECU. So we've got a new ECU fitted, we've loaded on the map, and we haven't done any testing yet, so that's why we're here for the Friday practice. We're just going to go out and see how it goes, and then we've got Dynatune back home. We'll be sending him logs and he'll send back down an updated file if need be, and yeah, we'll take it from there, and fingers crossed it'll see us through the weekend.
Do love the ride or die attitude. And how are you feeling for the obviously the weekend? You was an absolute storm on the last round. No one could touch you. How are you feeling for this round being a concrete wall?
Yeah, really excited actually. Obviously my home track being Driftland, there's the big concrete wall there, so we're quite at home with the feeling of rubbing up against the concrete. So really excited, looking forward to it. Should make for good battles. Looked at the track this morning, looks a good layout. Be really fast, I think. It's quite a long sweeper for the first corner, so should be exciting.
Awesome, we're excited to see you out there. Good luck.
No problem.
So that was our man on the ground there, Matt House, having a little chat with Ricky Lawrence ahead of this afternoon's, I dare say, exciting battles that are going to go ahead. Shall we have a little look at the battle tree and see who's going up against who?
Yeah, let's just throw that up on the screen now for you guys here in attendance. You can see it on the big screen, and obviously at home it will be on your screen. And I was excited to see it because look, I always like seeing the battle tree. I like seeing who the battles are and who potentially could go through to the top 16. As you can see, up first we've got Tomas Falvey to take on Scott Cartledge. They'll be whoever wins that will be heading through to battle. Alan Hinds, our first place qualifier. Up next it will be Oliver Evans to take on 24th place qualifier Christian's Birkhoffs. They'll move on to face that man Ricky Lawrence, who is looking to take down the championship this weekend. Up next is Lewis Mitchell to take on Dave Egan. They'll be going through to meet Oliver Bolton out of nowhere. Oliver Bolton, look, he was looking good in practice the last 2 days, but the last couple of practice runs we see, he didn't look that strong, but he absolutely stormed that one, so he moves himself inside top 16. Up next will be Tom Murphy to take on Matt Fountain, our Pro-Am driver. He will be, whoever wins that will be going on to take on Drift Cup driver at the beginning of this weekend. Now sees himself inside top 16 of a pro event, Charlie Hulme. Incredible stuff. Alistair Sutton there will be taking on Donatus. Whoever wins that battle will be moving on to take on Phil Morrison in that Toyota Corolla. Up next is Phillips to take on Elmore. Whoever wins that will be taking on Grimmrod. Grimmrod making a return back to his wife's, not his girlfriend's, his wife's
car.
Nissan.
That's some trust right there.
Exactly that. Adam Simmons will take on Stefanoff, and whoever wins that battle will be taking on Pro-Am driver Willie Hanna on a storm this weekend. Not forgetting the final battle of our top 24 playoff. It will be Silcock to take on King. Can King take down Silcock and move on to take down the person who is sitting in third place in the championship right now, Martin Monocott? That this is so much to play for this weekend. I think the biggest story is though Aramis Vosgelis out of competition, so the championship, whatever happens by the end of this weekend, Sarah, will be a completely different story.
It will be, and we saw the same kind of result yesterday in the Pro-Am. Everything's been shook up.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen this afternoon? I can't wait.
Exactly, I can't wait. And look, I like to see that, and people always ask me why, because it creates stories. And when we move to Three Sisters in a few weeks' time, it's going to be one hell of a story when we go there, because people are going to be hungry, very, very hungry to get the win. But let's have a look at the track though, because it's easy for us to talk about it and see what they're going to go against. Let's have a look for you. Let's put a visual representation up on the circuit of what these guys have got to do in a battle format. As you can see, both guys door to door as they initiate, come through the centre of the circuit to outer zone 2. Look at that drive from 1 to 2 is very, very long. Down into the D-cell zone onto 3. This is where we're going to see a lot of contact, right there at that point where we see it yesterday. But then down a gear, back on the throttle into outer zone 4, stay on the throttle all the way through 5, and then this was a tricky transition yesterday for some of our guys as they get into outer zone 6 in the middle of the circuit, and then one more wall run left to go for an outer zone 7 and that tricky last clipping point outer zone 8 before they take it across the line. And one of those guys, well, they'll be crowned the victor. One guy will be putting his car back on the trailer and going home.
There certainly will. There's going to be some unmissable action, so if you're not here, where are you?
Well, you should be watching online, hopefully.
I know. So, we've got an interview with one of our awesome sponsors, which provide a lot of support to the championship, Funk Motorsport. Shall we have a little look at what these guys have got to say?
As you saw on the live stream yesterday, I had my head in the engine bay of a few vehicles, having a look around at some of the performance. But one thing that does get forgotten many times is heat management. We're here with another title sponsor, Funk Motorsport, to have a chat about dealing with the heat. How you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. So we just turned up today really just to give that awareness a little bit further to both spectators and drivers as well. Heat is definitely something that's forgotten about or thought about later on. But either way, there's more than one way to skin a cat, so we can definitely help out there really. We supply to drift teams, race cars, manufacturer OEMs, all sorts. So if you've got a heat issue or you feel that you're not necessarily sure of the direction of the best thing to use, we're more than happy to try and help you out with that.
Well, heat obviously is a big thing, and some of the things that obviously people do forget about is it doesn't just help performance, because obviously the more heat that you keep inside where it's meant to stay hot and the less heat that you let escape to where things need to stay cool, exactly. You're not hindering performance, but also it's reliability and obviously longevity of obviously the parts and stuff as well.
Exactly. So our mantra really is performance, protection, reliability. So you're going to be increasing performance in certain areas. You're going to be making a lot, protect a lot more sensitive components, and at the same time make everything a lot more reliable. So some areas you want to keep really hot, some areas you want to keep cold, and you're just really about trying to find a middle ground there. So we've got different sleeving there to protect oil lines, fuel lines, things like that. Try and lower your intake temperatures with a whole host of products just here. Other things to try and keep some of the heat within your exhaust and protect other components like reservoirs and things like that, as well as turbo blankets and other bits and bobs for key specific items. So there's a huge range here. We're more than happy to talk to you about what we've got available.
Well, that's the great thing of having you guys here and actually at the event, is you can talk to the drivers, you can talk to the members of the public and actually explain how this helps and why it makes a difference. And obviously your products, obviously they go through quite a bit of R&D.
Yeah, exactly that. So what you see here, kind of the finished products. But at the end of the day, we're consistently reinventing and going from there. And we take on board, some of the drivers that we've got here, particularly Ollie, along with other things that aren't even involved with drifting. Obviously, everything takes on different abuse. So here in drifting, it's 10-20 seconds of hard abuse. Other things, it may be endurance racing for 24 hours, which may show some other problems. So at the same time, we take all of these things into consideration from our background as well, from our racing background. We try to see what's available for the market, what's currently available, and at the moment there's no one else in Europe that does this. So that's why we're keen to be on board in drifting.
Awesome. Well, it's lovely to have you here, and obviously great that you're supporting the drivers.
No problem.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, guys. Enjoy.
So there you go, Funk Motorsport, one of our sponsors there, and providing a lot of help to a lot of teams and bringing along a lot of stuff, product this weekend for you guys here in attendance to have a look at and to help out, help out all the paddock, in case they need anything. Look, I'm done with talking about everything else, Sarah. I want to see some more drifting. Birmingham, do you want to see some top 24 action? No, we're going to need it better than that. We're going to need it better than that. I know it's very, very wet. I know it's cold. I know you guys have been stood out in the rain for 2 days. But Birmingham, before we send the first cars for our top 24, I need you to make some noise. That's more like it. That is more like it, NEC. But we're going to get you warmed up. We're going to get you shouting and cheering. Look, the guys from Pro Drift Academy are going to throw some free gifts out to make some noise. So if you're in the grandstands or if you're in attendance, keep an eye out from Yogi and the guys from Pro Drift. They're going to be giving you some equipment to make some noise for some of their Pro Drift drivers. But we're going to move it along to the start line for the first battle of our top 24 competition here, round 4 of the British Drift Championship 2019. On the line is Tomas Falvey to take on Scott Cartledge, and well, this is an interesting one. Scott Cartledge's second qualifying run, he shut the car down, he looked like he had issues. He idled the car off track. Tomas Falvey, well, he didn't even make it out on track in his own car. He jumped in Stephen Fitzgerald's car, which was only finished a matter of hours ago. Fitzgerald's car got finished, he loaded it on the trailer, he jumped straight on the boat and he drove here from work in Ireland.
That's pretty damn good commitment, isn't it, really?
That is certainly damn good commitment. They're on the line. It will be Falvey to lead out Cartledge for a spot in the top 16 awaits. That all-important top 16. I give the thumbs up to the start line marshal in the tower. Malks raised his arm in the air. Both guys ready to go. Windscreen wipers on. The rain is still falling here in Birmingham, and we are live with the first battle of our top 24. And look at Scott Cartledge onto the back bumper. Contact before the initiation. Scott Cartledge not messing around as he pushes Tomas Falvey very, very deep into that car zone. Tomas Falvey giving some room to manoeuvre there as he gets into outside zone 3, but he's gone very, very wide. And Scott Cartledge narrowly avoids contact. And Scott Cartledge now will finish up the run, Sarah. And Tomas Falvey will take a little step back on that one and try and realise, or try and work out where it all went wrong.
So that was an interesting one. So, how's he going to penalise Cartledge for the contact, or is it going to be Falvey's fault for, you know, slowing down and not giving him anywhere to go? You know, how are the judges going to see that one? We'll have to wait and see. We are going to see them obviously go in the reverse order, so we'll see if that changes up the way they're going to be driving.
So let's have a look at the replay, Sarah. So he's jumping on you there.
It's okay.
You want to analyse this a little bit. Look, you can see Tomas Falvey goes very, very wide. He takes out those cones. That could potentially already be a 10-0.
Yeah.
He comes down into outside zone 3. Now, Ben Manuel said to me earlier that they were heavily penalising guys for doing long handbrake drags into outside zone 3. Tomas Falvey tried to set that car. Remember, you're carrying a little bit too much speed. And you look, the track would have changed in the last half hour or an hour after qualifying, because that area has been raining constantly now. Maybe it's picked up a little bit of standing water, and that car just shot off circuit. So for me, that comes down to the level of grip on the track rather than more of a driver error.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I like your explanation there. I like to ask these questions so that, you know, people at home might be wondering the same thing I'm wondering.
Do you know what, Sarah? You're learning, and I love that. And I love people that get involved in drifting, and I love people that learn. That are learning about drifting, and I'm always here to help. They're on the line though, and it will be Scott Cartledge now to lead out Tomas Falvey as they come off the line. Cartledge absolutely hooning into that first corner. You can see damage on the back of that car, but he's very wide, just about holds it on circuit. As Scott Cartledge now starts to pull away, and you can see the standing water, you can see the puddles that have started to appear on the track. Scott Cartledge does make it into the outside zone without any mistakes, and Falvey this time gives him some room to manoeuvre. And Scott Cartledge now transitions into the middle of the circuit. Tomas Falvey, big straight line, big handbrake in the middle of the track there. Massive mistake from Tomas Falvey as Cartledge takes it across the line.
That was a much cleaner run there from both of these guys. I think they're just getting in, like you say, to grips, pardon the pun, with the track and the surface. There is a lot more standing water, like you said as well. I think that's going to be playing a lot of a part really for a lot of the drivers, at least for these first few runs, to get the hang of it and see what the grip levels are like out there.
Well, I think that's the unfortunate thing for the first battle in the top 24. Tomas Falvey and Scott Cartledge have just gone out on probably an unpredictable circuit,
yes.
A lot of standing water. They've had to clear the track, in theory, for the next battle. So these guys have had the rough end of the deal. Who will take it through? Only one of these guys can go through to face Alan Hinds. Will it be Tomas Falvey? Will it be Scott Cartledge? A score comes in left for Falvey, right for Cartledge. And there we go, unanimous. Scott Cartledge gets the win and advances through, and Tomas Falvey knows it. Show your appreciation, Birmingham. Judges, we're going to throw it to you. Pretty simple one, but we'll just quickly get an explanation from you.
Everyone. So I'll start that again. So it all came down to the first round, the first run there, the initiation. Thomas was pretty much off power quite a long time. Scott was on power. He then caught up. He was right with Falvey when they initiated, but he sort of caused the contact. It did push Falvey further on, but because Falvey was off power, that's where we deemed that Falvey's fault.
So there we go, Falvey knocked out competition. He moves through, Cartledge moves through now to face off Alan Hinds. On the line we do have Oliver Evans to take on Christian's Birkhoffs. Oliver Evans qualifying in 9th place and Christian Birkhoffs qualifying in 24th place. He just about scraped in. Birkhoffs looks a little bit wounded out. It doesn't look like the same Birkhoffs we see in practice, because he was flying, Sarah. He was very, very consistent. It's just not looking too good right now. And you know what Oliver Evans said this weekend? I'm doing it for Dad. Happy birthday, Old Spice, because he's on the line and he's qualified inside a very tough top 24 here this weekend. You can see the inside of that car's steamy, the windscreen wipers are not an easy. This is a challenge alone driving in this weather.
It is, and that's without just, you know, the track itself. It's a challenge trying to keep, like you say, the condensation, everything off the windows, just your visibility is really low, because the rain's still pouring down. These guys really are giving it their all to get out there and get through it.
They certainly are, and it looks like we are ready to go, and it will be Oliver Evans to lead out Birkhoffs for a spot in the top 16 to take on Ricky Lawrence. Nice initiation there. Nice and snappy, but look at the angle from Christian Birkhoffs. Matches and there's the angle of Oliver Evans, but he falls back massively there in the middle of the circuit. Now he makes a dive into outside zone 3, but Evans has a perfect line coming onto the wall. Look at that from Evans, almost contact with the wall. Very, very good driving from the young gun from Wales now, but Christian Birkhoffs right on the back bumper as they transition through the centre of the circuit. Christian Birkhoffs going to look down for the side of that little S14 one more time as Birkhoffs pushes Evans across the line.
Brilliant, really strong drive from Evans there. Birkhoffs was backing off a little bit at the beginning. I don't know whether he was just a bit hesitant still, but he did rein him in a bit towards the end of the run. So we'll see how the judges deem that at the end of both these guys having a lead.
Yeah, a little wobble in the middle of the circuit there for Christian Birkhoffs. You can see him as he goes to outside zone 2. You can see Birkhoffs, he has to make a big correction. Evans does a very, very nice job on the outside zone. Didn't get as deep into 5 as what you'd like him, and they're very shallow on 6, almost used the outside zone 2 as a front clipping point. But Birkhoffs, you know, he had a similar proximity all the way through, so he will gain some points for that. I think for me it was the initiation. He put on some serious angle and bettered the angle of Oliver Evans on initiation. So we get the thumbs up. They are ready to rock and roll. It will be now Birkhoffs to lead out Evans. And this, like I said, is for a spot in the top 16 to face off against Ricky Lawrence. The championship hangs in the balance for that young man. Can he do what he wants to do this weekend and claim the championship? Woo! One of these guys is going to have to try and stop him right now. And look at Evans right onto the back bumper of Birkhoffs as Birkhoffs fires that car. He's very wide though. Christian Birkhoffs is very wide, but look at this from Oliver Evans all over the side of the Latvian's car. He gives him some room to manoeuvre. He goes very deep. Birkhoffs, how did Birkhoffs hold on to that? Evans now starts to make the kill. Back up onto the door he goes as they transition in the centre of the circuit for outside zone 6. Evans again giving them some room to manoeuvre as he now once again dives up onto the side of the Latvian Z36 and across the line makes some noise, Birmingham.
Fantastic run from both drivers there. That is the type of action we want to see. I mean, that clipping point 8 from Birkhoffs, that's more like what we normally see from him. He's been a bit subdued, hasn't he, today so far?
He has been a little bit subdued. I think he's held back ever so slightly. Look,
yeah.
He's not had much luck in the UK. I'm speaking to his crew, the Drift for You Motorsport guys, and they've said, look, we've just not had the weekends that we wished we had, you know. And look, they're not coming from around the corner. These guys, okay, they leave the vehicle in the UK, and most of the teams travel backwards and forwards to Latvia. No, I'm doing that fight on Thursday morning. That's not an easy flight. It's a long, long way away. So, big respect to the guys from Drift for You Motorsport. For doing that. Christian Birkhoffs or Oliver Evans, who's going to take it? Unanimous. Evans gets the win and advances through. Just a tale of proximity, that's all it was.
Yeah, that's right, Ian. It came down to a slight advantage on the first run for Christophs against Oliver Evans, but then on the second run, Christophs dropped 2 wheels off the track and Oliver had much better proximity, and that gave him the advantage 7-3, and he took the win.
So there we go, we move it along to the next battle of the day, and it will be Lewis Mitchell to take on Dave Egan. Lewis Mitchell in that Mitchell Motorsport Boss S14. And Dave Egan, well, we all know what he's got. He's got that Ford Mustang RTR, Sunoco Racing Fuel, Mobil 1 link engine management. As they come off the line, it will be Egan to chase down Mitchell. Oh, look at that, Egan straight onto the back bumper and initiates before Lewis Mitchell, because he messed himself up massively there, Egan. Egan's messed himself up massively now. He's playing catch up as he pulled a big handbrake drag in the middle of the circuit. He looks down the barrel of the gun at the side of Lewis Mitchell's car. Look at that. One car is absolutely huge. The Mustang looks huge alongside the S14. But Egan's struggling to chase Lewis Mitchell now. He's in the middle of the circuit. They're going to transition back up onto the wall. as Lewis Mitchell puts the foot down and starts to pull away, but he's sacrificing the line as they come across the finish line.
That was an interesting run for both drivers there. That Mustang looks massive compared to the S14, doesn't it? It looks huge. I wonder if it's, you know, a bit of a handful to drive as well because of the size. Does it weigh a lot? Has he lightened it quite a bit, you know?
Well, I mean, look, it's been built by the guys at the RTR lab at ASD Motorsport in America, and that car is quite light, but it was just a demo car that Vaughan Gittin Jr. used to drive. It's a very handleable car, but the problem is it's left-hand drive, and Dave Egan said he's struggling to adapt to the lewest-hand drive, and it's a completely different ball game, and it is a very big car. So it's a learning game for him. He's on the line. He will be now leading out Lewis Mitchell as they come off the line. Very tentative run in there from Dave Egan as he miles away from the wall on initiation. Look at Lewis Mitchell, no messing around, big angle pulled, but he's lost a lot of ground as Egan fires down into outside zone 3. A lot of separations opened up now. Mitchell needs to put the hammer down, start to claw back onto the side of that Ford Mustang, and here he goes as he gets right up onto the side. Oh, and almost contact. Mitchell gets pushed off the edge of the circuit ever so slightly. Now he's going to make one more dive up onto the side as they get into the final outer zone and across the line, Mitchell and Egan.
Just after initiation there, Mitchell left a lot of room, didn't he? I mean, he went wider than Egan did. To me, it looked like a better line, a better, perfect line, but he lost a lot of ground on Egan. So is that going to be judged negatively on his part then, or is he going to be judged better because he's done a better line? How does that work?
The proximity will come into it. We expect, even if Dave Egan wasn't on a very good qualifying line, we'd expect Lewis Mitchell to be chasing him, no doubt. So that will play a big factor in it. Decision is in, left for Mitchell, right for Egan. Who's going to take it through to the top 16? Oh, it's going to be a one more time. So both those guys now filled each other out. Track marshal just going to have a word with them. Guys, scrappy leads, scrappy chases from both drivers. Yeah, I'm getting the nods from both of them. Pretty simple one more time. See him again. And look, the best thing about this one more time, Dave Egan's happy, fist bumping in the air. These guys kind of know each other now. They kind of know the line, and any mistakes that they made in the first battle, they'll kind of be lost because they know exactly what they're doing. They're going straight back to the line. They're going to come straight back out. No need to mess around. No need to change tyres, Sarah, because, well, we've got a drift lubricant, as the boys call it, down on the ground.
Yes, that's it. So this is going to be an interesting one because, like you say, they're going to know what to expect from each other's driving style a little bit now. So this is a kind of a second chance at getting that place.
It certainly is. I don't think there was a difference in pace. So for me, it was one of the biggest problems was on Egan's lead. He slowed down massively up into the run-up. Maybe it was a gear shift problem. He said to me yesterday that he was struggling to get the gear shift from third to second. And look, left-hand drive car, it's all completely different. So we'll see how he gets on. This is the first time he's used this car in competition. They are on the line and ready to rock and roll. It will be Mitchell to lead, Egan to give chase. I was just waiting to get a confirmation that we are all ready to rock and roll. And that start line, Marshall Melks gives them the thumbs up. And we are go. As Lewis Mitchell puts the foot down. And look at this, Dave Egan now, this time he knows the pace of Lewis Mitchell's car. As Lewis Mitchell fires in almost to contact on that rear arch. As Dave Egan wants to get the job done right now as he sticks that Ford Mustang onto the side of the S14. Oh wow, what a transition from Dave Egan. But he almost sort of straightens the car massively. You can see him fighting that car as they come into that outer zone. Lewis Mitchell on a pretty good lead line right now, and Dave Egan doing a very, very good job of chasing. They both come screaming from the centre of the circuit one more time. As Lewis Mitchell gets up onto the wall, Dave Egan puts the foot down and pushes Lewis Mitchell across the line.
Dave Egan is really bringing that now, isn't he? He was all over the side of that car. Let's see, though, how he fares in the lead position. Will he let the pressure get to him? Is Mitchell going to be able to chase him down as close?
Well, I mean, look, Lewis Mitchell's spotters will be down there in the spotters area below us, and he would have been saying to him, well, look, there was points of that where Egan absolutely glued it to your door, and the transition going into outer zone 3 was pretty special, so you have to put it on the door, no leaving any room. We know that Egan had a slow lead running before. Was that a gear change, or was that games? Was Dave Egan playing games? Well, they're off the line. We're about to find out. Egan to lead, Lewis Mitchell to give chase. And look at that separation this time. as Egan puts the foot down and starts to drive away, but Lewis Mitchell throws big angle at it as Egan shallows up massively, coming into outside zone 2. Both guys fire into outside zone 3. Look at the transition from Lewis Mitchell. That car absolutely dialed. He needs to just get right up on the side of that Ford Mustang and start to claw it back, and he does. Lewis Mitchell doing a very good job. He's going to get himself squeezed. Whoa, wow! Lewis Mitchell almost got himself knocked off circuit there as he dives once again up onto the side of that Ford Mustang. Egan takes it to the wall and across the line.
That was the close racing that we have been wanting to see basically all day. We've been waiting for that kind of thing. Yeah, these guys are really putting it on the door on each other now. I can't call that.
I wouldn't want to call that.
No,
I'll tell you the biggest problem
that.
is that they can't go one more time. I didn't see many errors. There was a small error from Dave Egan in the middle of the circuit, a small straight, and could that be the nail in the coffin for Dave Egan? I wouldn't want to call that. We can't have a one more time. It has to be a decision. Someone has to go through into the top 16 to face off against Oliver Bolton. And I'll tell you what, Oliver Bolton and his spotter, his father, his spotter, will be down in the spotters area now watching, saying, well, it's not going to be easy whatever way. And look at that, unanimous. Lewis Mitchell gets the win and advances through. Judges, the one more time, a lot better.
Yeah, that was it was much better to go there with that one more time. The whole sort of what happened, Dave had a really good chase all the way up until he strained behind Lewis there. Lewis didn't do anything wrong in the lead in the defense there. When Dave led, he also straightened again between 1 and 2. Lewis unfazed, kept with him, stayed good, decent proximity throughout most of the track. Dropped off a little bit between 5 and 6, but took the win there from his chase run.
So there we go, Lewis Mitchell getting the win and advances through into the top 16. Up next, Tom Murphy to take on Matt Fountain. And this one, well, unknown. We'd never have matched these two guys up before in the past. And you would probably never have said it yesterday. Matt Fountain would have definitely have never said that he would have found himself in a pro top 24 to yesterday afternoon. And now he sits alongside Tom Murphy, the showman, the stunt man in that Mega Spec PS13. And do you know what? I'm going to say Matt Fountain's looking the stronger contender in this battle.
I'd say you're possibly right there. I mean, judging by this morning, yes, so far. However, they're both qualified, so they've obviously got the potential.
Well, they certainly have, but
Matt Fountain is just having an absolute storm of a weekend.
Yeah, Matt Fountain didn't qualify the highest. He qualified down in 21st place, and Murphy up in 12th. But I think, for me personally, I think that Tom Murphy is going to do something outlandish. He's going to go a little bit too wild. Yesterday, Fountain's consistency got him on the podium, and he got him into this qualifying session. They're off the line and ready to go. It's Murphy to lead out Fountain for a spot in the top 16 here at the BDC. Who's going to take it through? And you can see a little bit tentative there from Matt Fountain, the unknown entity. But look at that, straight up onto the side goes Matt Fountain in the big wobble. And a big wobble upsets Matt Fountain. Matt Fountain has to straighten massively now as he makes a dive into outside zone 3. He's looking back down the side of that Mega Spec PS13. And now he starts to rein him back in, starts to gain that proximity again as they transition in through the centre of the circuit into outside zone 6. Onto the wall goes Tom Murphy, and you can see Matt Fountain just giving him some room to manoeuvre before he pushes him across the line.
Matt Fountain there, amazing initiation, how close he was, on Tom's door there, but then he did have that straighten up, that wobble in the middle. He's had to sort of reinitiate into 50.3. I mean, he did hold him the rest of the way around, but I can probably guess which way that might have been judged. But could be wrong.
The way I see that was I didn't catch it because look, there's two cars and I'm watching one, I'm watching the other.
Yeah.
I think that potentially Tom Murphy made a mistake and it threw Matt Fountain off ever so slightly. That might be what the judges see, or maybe they didn't see. But who knows? That's the tale of the tape for them. So when they've gone back on the line, it will be Fountain now to lead out Tom Murphy. And I think this, if it's going to go wrong for Tom Murphy, is where it is. I think it's going to push a little bit too hard. Both guys screaming up. Look at this, Tom Murphy door on door with Matt Fountain. A nice initiation from Fountain as he fires that car in on that nice wide line, and Murphy gets a little bit of understeer as Matt Fountain on that perfect qualifying line. But look at Murphy all over the back bumper of that Toyota Sora as they absolutely perfectly balance it into the outer zone. You can see Matt Fountain really working that car, trying to get it back on that qualifying line as Murphy almost removes his front bumper on the back end of that Toyota Sora. Transitions back in onto the wall, and Tom Murphy is right on the side of Matt Fountain as they come across the line.
Fantastic chase from Murphy there. I don't know if the judges are going to, see from the first run whether he made a mistake and that threw Matt Fountain off, like you said, Ian, or whether Matt made his own mistake. That's something I can't call myself. No doubt the judges will be having a little discussion about that, and we shall see in just a minute. So they're having a quick look at a replay now. And it looks like they are just having a look at what we've just been talking about to see whether Murphy made the mistake, which
Look,
left.
do you see the way I see this? I see. Sorry to jump in again. I see Tom Murphy dive massively across the track from outside zone 2 into outside zone 3, but very, very early. And I think that upset. I think that shut the door for Matt Fountain. And you can see Tom Murphy straight out of the car to shake hands with Matt Fountain. Who's going to take it through? 1 vote for Tom Murphy. 2 votes for Tom Murphy, and Tom Murphy gets the win and advances through to the top 16 judges. You seeing things we didn't see, and we're seeing stuff you didn't see.
Yeah, that's right, Ian. So from the first run, we just wanted to make sure that Tom wasn't 3 wheels off the track, and whether or not that caused the big straighten from Matt behind him. He wasn't in a position where he caused the straighten, and Matt obviously lost the points there. On the second run round, Matt had a very, very good lead run, which gave obviously Tom all the opportunity to twin with him, get as much proximity as possible. So that's why he got extra points on that one, and then Tom Murphy takes the win.
So there we go, Tom Murphy getting the win, moving through. He'll be taking on Charlie Hulme in that top 16. We're moving on to the next battle of the day. It'll be Alistair Sutton to take on Donatus. Donatus in that crazy V8 Turbo E30 BMW. Well, he's taking on our 2016 Drift Cup champion, Alistair Sutton. And well, Sutton, Mr. Consistent, gets himself inside qualifying. He qualifies just a couple of places higher than Donatus. This one could be an interesting one as they come off the line. Sutton to lead, and he's put the hammer down. He's not messing around. He's absolutely driving away from Donatus right now in that wet weather as he gets on that nice wide line. You can see Donatus going very deep into outside zone 2. Can he hold on to this one? He's going to need to make a big dive. Oh, and he's coming big angle into outside zone 3. That's going to completely mess up his line. If he goes on the inside of that circuit, that will be wheels off. That could be a 10-0. But Alistair Sutton not on that perfect qualifying line as he comes through outside zone 5. The transition in the middle of the circuit, and Donatus making a whole host of errors, firing that car left and right. They're just not as balanced and controlled as you like to see as Alistair Sutton finishes the run-up.
Donatus started very well there. I thought he was in for a really strong chase run, but he just kind of lost it right in the middle of the circuit, and after that he couldn't really claw it back in. He'd set himself up wrong going into 3, and he was so shallow that he couldn't get the line back. I think that's probably going to damage him quite a lot there. And we are just getting the thumbs up there, ready to go back out again. We'll have Donatus in the lead this time.
Yeah, both guys pull back up to the start line. It will be Donatus, as you say. You can see that Uniroll rain tyre. Perfect choice there for the front of Alistair Sutton's car.
Good choice.
Alistair Sutton now to give chase. Donatus to lead him in. Donatus to lead him in as they fire onto the wall. Very weird initiation there from Donatus. Looked like he was going to completely get it wrong, but now he's flying. He's on a very, very wide line. And you can see Alistair Sutton in the chase position now making a mistake. Big angle carried into outside zone 3 for Donatus, but he's going to sacrifice 4. He's on the middle of the circuit. And that opens the door for Sutton to get nice and close there with that lost bit of ground. As you can see, Donatus nice and deep into outside zone 6, transitions back onto the wall again, and Alistair Sutton's right with him on the side of that BMW, and across the line they go.
Alistair Sutton looking very, very strong there. I mean, Donatus just wasn't quite on the right line for me. Again, maybe I've seen something different to the judges, but he didn't seem to be quite on the right line, not really giving Alistair much, chaseability really. But we shall see which way it is going to swing.
Yeah, exactly that. We've got those guys back into the middle of the circuit to receive the decision, and I think one of the biggest factors for me was on the initiation. Slide him left for Sutton, slide him right for Donatus. Who's going to take it through to the top 16? 1 vote for Sutton, 2 votes for Sutton. Sutton gets the win and advances through. Judges, we send it quickly back to you.
Right, so on this one we gave the first run advantage to Alistair due to the amount of errors that Donatus had behind between clips 3 to 4, and then also cutting the track from clips 7 to 8. So Alistair had a good lead run, gave him all the opportunity. On the second run round, they both had a good, strong chase and lead run, but it wasn't enough to overturn the amount of errors from the first run. So obviously, Alistair Sutton takes the win.
There you go, Alistair Sutton getting the win and advances through. We will take on Phil Morrison in top 16, and we move it to the next battle on the line. It will be Ian Phillips to take on Ollie Elmore, 620 horsepower to take on 720 horsepower. Nissan Skyline R33 to take on the Nissan 350Z. Magnuson Supercharged LS3 in 1, 2 JZ in the other. They're off the line. And Ian Biz Phillips leads out the pack as they come down. Look at this, Elmore desperate for a result this season as he fires that hell performance against Skyline. But Ian Phillips on an absolutely perfect lead line at the moment of carrying a lot of speed into outside zone 3. And look at the speed on that perfect line. The back wheel was absolutely glued to the white line. A big error from Elmore in the middle of the track as Ian Phillips now balances that car perfectly through the transition and gets back onto the wall one more time as Ian Phillips glues the back end of that 350Z to the wall and across the line.
What a run from Ian Phillips there. I mean, this morning he got a 0 in his first run. I mean, he would have been under so much pressure. He had one run to put the score in and actually qualify, and he did. He put it through, and that was fantastic. That's the type of drive we like to see from Biz.
Ian Biz Phillips that was incredible. That was incredible. That was such a good lead from Phillips. The line he had coming out of outside zone 3 onto the wall, his back tyre was literally on the white line all the way around. Very, very good stuff there from Ian Phillips. He now sits in the chase position. Ollie Elmore obviously making that big mistake in the first half of the battle. Who could be the stronger contender in the second half of the battle as they come off the line? You can see Elmore absolutely hammer down. He's just going to try and drive away. But he's thrown it in very, very wide. He's going to go way off track. Ollie Elmore goes way off track there now. Has to think about what he's doing. Sends it into outside zone 3 and Phillips, the door has opened and Phillips has took the step in right now as Ian Phillips positions that 350Z up onto the side of that left-hand side line. They're going to transition down to outside zone 6. Some room given by Phillips, and now he makes another dive up onto the side of that Hell Performance Nissan Skyline and across the line.
That's great to see. Biz just absolutely chasing him down there, really. Ollie Elmore's not looking as strong as he has been during these two battles here, so I think that's going to damage him quite a bit. And I think he's got, part of his exhaust hanging down as well by the looks of it. So the drivers are just pulling into the middle of the circuit now to receive the official result.
Yeah, look at that. Ian Phillips having a really good time. Side of left for Phillips, right for Elmore. 1 vote for Phillips, 2 votes for Phillips. Ian Phillips gets the win and advances through. Judges, Ian Phillips, he looks like a man possessed out there right now.
So yeah, it's quite a clear-cut explanation for that. Is obviously Ollie Elmore fell off track twice and Biz takes the win.
There we go, Ian Phillips taking the win and advancing through. We move it on to the next battle of the day. Simmons to take on Stefanoff, your guy.
Yeah, Stefanoff's been really strong in the wet in the last round, and not too bad in this one as well. He qualified okay and he got himself in there. Let's see how he fares now in a battle.
Well, yeah, Stefanoff qualified 19th position, but he's going to take on a person who's on the podium with at the last round of the British Champions. Look at the initiation with both those guys. Stefanoff's not going to hold on to that, nor is Simmons. They've just about managed to keep it on the circuit as Stefanoff gives Adam Simmons some room to manoeuvre. Look, it backs out of it ever so slightly, and Stefanoff problems with the car potentially, or is he completely aborted the run as Adam Simmons continues drifting and gets the transition in the centre of the circuit down. And look at that, Stefanoff completely aborting the run, and maybe problems with the car as they come across the line. Not sure what is going on there with Stefanoff's car, and I'd love to see a replay of that initiation because that was wild to say the least.
It was. I mean, that is the action we've come here to see, really. I mean, Simmons did go off, a little bit wide, really, after initiation. Is that Stefanoff followed him, didn't he, really? Which I know is the idea of the game, but it's not great when they've both gone too wide, and obviously has that caused a problem?
Look at the angle. Look at the angle that Stefanoff pulls. It almost backwards. Yeah, look, for me, Adam Simmons was way wide. He left that initiation miles too late to get done. And look, yeah, you're right. Stefanoff would be following the lead car, using them as a mobile clipping point. So Stefanoff would naturally have gone offline anyway. But for me, don't always shut the car down. Is there an issue? Can he make it around this lead line? Well, who's to know right now? I mean, Stefanoff, I spoke to him the other day and he said the car's playing up. He's got a few issues with the car. Some of the fuel pumps are not working right. He was working on it with his team over the weekend. And look, he's out there. He's qualified. He's out there. But can he take it through to the top 16 where he all has to face off with Willie Hanna, or will it be Adam Simmons that faces off with our Pro-Am driver Willie Hanna?
Yeah, he's going to be giving it his all now because this is basically Stefanoff's last shot, isn't it, to get a strong run in against Simmons.
It certainly is. Both these guys sitting on the start line, patiently awaiting the signal to go, and here we are ready to rock and roll. It will be Stefanoff to lead in Adam Simmons for a spot in the top 16. Stefanoff Puts the hammer down. Adam Simmons onto the back bumper they go though, and a nice initiation this time. Not too much angle carry, but Stefanoff now makes the same mistake. Stefanoff way off track. That's definitely 4 wheels off track, and yeah, that's a potential. There's a problem with that car. He's got 2 cones wedged under it as well. That's an issue. But
that adds to his problems right now.
I think there's a problem. I think there's an underlying problem with that car that Stefanoff hasn't yet solved. I wonder if when he initiates the car, maybe fuel cuts, and he just has to hold on for dear life, and he can't get back on power. If he was back on power, he'd be able to drive himself around the line.
Yes, he'd be able to drive out with that.
I think that's the problem. I think that car is still having those fuel cut issues. So Stefanoff stopped in the middle of the circuit, and our track marshal's just trying to retrieve their cones. As these guys pull up, again, to receive the decision. And the weather playing havoc for these guys, absolute havoc right now. But I think Adam Simmons might have just been thrown a bit of a lifeline, or could it be a one more time? Potentially could be a one more time if Stefanoff's car can do it. So judges want to see a replay of this on the initiation. You can see Stefanoff again, he left it very, very late to initiate and drops 4 wheels clear off the circuit. Adam Simmons realises, starts to back out of it, and Stefanoff at that point, he is way off circuit. So one more time, yeah, it's going to be a one more time, ladies and gentlemen, and yeah, I was correct. Yeah, wheels off from Adam Simmons on the lead, wheels off from Stefanoff on the chase, on his lead, goes to one more time. Our marshals are just going to make sure these guys need anything before they go back in. I wonder, is Stefanoff's car capable to compete? That's the problem. That's what I'm looking at.
That's it, yeah, we don't know, do we? I mean, hopefully it is, this is a lifeline for him, because he's going to get a second chance now to actually put, a decent run in if there's no issues with his car. But so can he take a 5 minute rule?
Yeah, he can take a 5 minute rule. He obviously loses 1 championship point, but Stefanoff could take a 1 minute rule. You can see our start line Marshall Melk's just backing up the next battle, which will be King and Silcock, and it looks like Stefanoff, he's going to go for it. Stefanoff's going to go for it, and maybe there isn't an issue with that car.
No, maybe not. There is a cone still stuck underneath it though.
That's an issue. That's going to cause him a bit of a problem. You can see our start line Marshall Melk's just having a look and trying to assess the best way to get that out. Potentially could stuck under the differential, I think that is. What was that start on Marshall? Look at that, what a hero. As you can see, not much left of Stefanoff's car, because we'll be able to put your shopping in the boot with that one, Sarah, that's for sure.
No, I don't think so. It'll probably fall out the bottom looking at where Malks has just dragged that cone from.
I reckon your milk and eggs will be a little bit dirty and broken by the time you get home.
They'd still be in the car park at Tesco, wouldn't they?
So Stefanoff pulls back up to the start line. Adam Simmons now to lead and Stefanoff to give chase. And Adam Simmons, will he make the same mistake again, or will he be able to pull it out of the bag and put in a decent lead line? Both these guys on the podium together at the last round of the British Championship. And only one of them can take it through to the top 16 this weekend. As we can see, Simmons already flicking that car sideways, and this is a much nicer initiation. Oh, and Stefanoff gets it very wrong. Stefanoff gets it very wrong and fires that car in completely backwards. As Adam Simmons holds onto it now, all he has to do is complete a nice clean run. As Simmons gets nice and deep into outside zone 4, you can see him foot down in that little BMW Z4. Stefanoff is going to complete the run, but you know what? It's too much. It's all done now. The deal is done. As he comes through the centre of the circuit into the final outside zones, and across the line goes Adam Simmons and Stefanoff.
That's it, and this is not really the run we're used to seeing from Stefanoff. Again, I'm going on about how good he is in the wet. Apparently, I'm talking rubbish.
He's not. Yep, apparently he's not.
He was at Teesside, I'll give him that, he was at Teesside. But there's obviously something's changed for him here, and he's not as consistent really as he has been. Or is there still an issue with the car? Maybe that's putting it off, yeah, maybe that's sort of an underlying problem.
But we're about to find out. He pulls up to the line to sit in that lead position now. Adam Simmons, all he has to do is put in a decent chase, nice close proximity. But can Stefanoff put in a lead run, or will he spin, or will he go wheels off track? We're about to find out. Stefanoff to lead in Simmons for a spot to battle Willie Hanna in the top 16 awaits. So look at that, Simmons on the back bumper, fast initiation from Stefanoff, but he holds it on track this time. He goes very deep into outside zone 2. Now this is a battle we've got on our hands right now. As Stefanoff gets into outside zone 3, you can see Simmons off throttle. He's not going to do anything stupid. He's just going to play a cool, calm, collected game as he looks for the side of the S13 on the transition. They come through the centre of the circuit. Stefanoff going to do everything he can to try and overturn the 10-0 deficit he has. But it's too much too late as they bring it across the line.
There's a much stronger run from Stefanoff there, but like you say, I think it's probably a bit too little too late for him, unfortunately. But it is good to see that he can still put in those strong runs hopefully, if there is an issue with the car, he's going to come back a bit stronger for the next round.
Hopefully so. Yeah, he's going to go away and have a look at what happened, and he's going to assess the footage and sit down with the team and work out a game plan, because from Teesside he looked like a strong contender in the Pro Championship, but right now Adam Simmons, who also stepped on the podium, he's looking even stronger. He's going to take it through, left for Simmons, right for Stefanoff, and there you go, unanimous. Adam Simmons gets the win and advances through. Pretty simple one for us judges. Wheels off track consisting of zeros, so Stefanoff bows out of competition. Adam Simmons moves through to battle Willie Hanna. So with that one done, there's just one more battle to go for our top 24, and it will be Oliver Silcock to take on Josh King, our Pro-Am finalist yesterday, the person who stood on the top step of the podium, Josh King. He will be taking on Ollie Silcock, a seasoned pro. This guy's been around a long time, he knows his stuff. They're on the line ready to go. It will be Silcock to lead out King for a spot in the top 16 against Martin Monocott. And here we go. Oh, Combs knocks on the chicane there from Ollie Silcock. And Josh King, though, straight up onto the back end at PS13. Both guys filling out. They've been watching the live stream. Oh, and Silcock's going to go way off track. Silcock goes way off track on initiation. And that initiation is just like an absolute sheet of glass. There is no grip there whatsoever. You can see these guys not even coming in that hot and just completely getting it wrong. As Silcock now transitions in the middle of the circuit. Josh King going to give him a fair battle. He jumps up to the side of that Nissan PS13. Josh King and Ollie Silcock finish up the run.
I'm really enjoying seeing Josh King progress throughout this championship, because he is getting closer and closer on everybody's door at each round. He's getting a lot more confident in the car and in his own driving abilities as well.
He certainly is. Like, when he's back in that BMW 36, he had to campaign his 5 Series, which is a V8 turbo for one event, and he said it's just not the same. He's used to driving the E36. He's had podiums in the E36 before, and he likes that car, and you can tell he likes that car. We see Josh King return to the start line, but no Ollie Silcock. Is there an issue with that car? Is there something that he wants to get checked out? We're going to wait to find out. Because if he does not get to the start line, we will have to call an automatic 5-minute rule for Ollie Silcock. So we are just waiting to get that information from our guys on the ground. And no, there he is. He appears out of nowhere. He went round the back of the building, had a little word with himself and said, "You've got this, buddy."
Psyched himself up.
You can do this.
Yeah.
He slams the car door shut. He gives the thumbs up to our start line marshal. And this is the final run of our top 24 battles here at BDC of round 4. Our track is set and ready to go. Josh King, well, he stares down this. He looks like the higher contender. Can he take it through to the top 24 to take on Monocott? Or will Silcock do the damage right now? They're off the line. And a nice initiation from Josh King. He holds it on the circuit. I thought he was going to go very wide there, but he manages to balance it. And Silcock makes another mistake in the chase position as they fire down into outside zone 3. And look at the pace that Josh King carries as he gets nice and close to the wall. And a big wobble again for Ollie Silcock. As they come round through the centre of the circuit, Josh King shallows up massively, just trying to drive away from Ollie Silcock as he gets into the wall and sacrifices the final 2 zones to pull away from Ollie Silcock.
So with the fact that he sacrificed those 2, how is that going to fare with the judges, do you think, from your point of view? Is he going to gain a bit of respect there because he's pulled away from him and took a lead? No, he's shortcutting the circuit, so in fact he's making the circuit smaller. So he's gaining some ground, and judges will deem him offline, so he'll lose points for that. Maybe Ollie Silcock will claw some back, but Silcock made a whole host of errors in that chase position. Yes.
So, not a clean battle, possibly a 5-5 in that chase position battle, but look, I'm not a judge, I'm just guessing, I'm just putting out my ideas. Decisions in, and slide them left for Silcock. Look at that, unanimous straight away. Josh King gets the win and advances through to the top 16. Judges, we throw it back to you just real quick.
Yeah, it's all to do with the 4 wheels off on Oliver's lead run, just between 1 and 2. So that was 10-0. The second run was pretty scrappy from both drivers, but neither scored a 10-0. So the first run is what won it for Josh.
So there we go, Josh King getting the win and advancing through to the top 16, and his great form on the weekend continues, and that is it. The top 24 battles are done, and we have our top 16 grid lined up and ready to go. I do believe we're going to bring up the battle graphic on screen for you guys at home so you can see exactly who is going to go head to head. And here we go. The first battle of our top 16. We'll see your first place qualifier, Alan Hinds, to take on Scott Cartledge. Ricky Lawrence hunting that championship. Well, he's going to have to take on probably one of the hardest contenders ever. Oliver Evans is so an unknown entity. He can come in and destroy the championship, or he can have a bad weekend. And this weekend, he looks on form. Bolton will take on Lewis Mitchell. Charlie Hulme, our Drift Cup driver, will take on Tom Murphy. Phil Morrison will take on Alistair Sutton. Richard Grimmrod will take on Phillips. Willie Hanna will take on Simmons. And Monocott will take on King. Look, it's looking very, very interesting. Some very good battles coming up in our top 16. And I do believe we're going to have a top 16 parade in a second. We're going to get those guys out and bring those guys out in front of you guys so you can just give them a little bit of a cheer and wave and see exactly who they are and what the battle is and what the lineups are. As the rain continues to fall, Sarah, being relentless today, no stopping for the rain.
No, absolutely not. And everyone says to me, I bet you're nice and dry up in the tower there. No, because the wind keeps blowing it right through the only opening we've got in the front of the tower. So we are still getting wet up in the tower here. Not as much as you guys though. So thank you to all the fans who have stood with the umbrellas up hiding from the rain, emergency ponchos. I can see Matt with his on down there. He's been rocking that this weekend.
He certainly has been rocking that all this weekend. You can see him down there with the Pro Drift guys. And Matt there just having a wander around, having a chat. He's probably trying to get
himself.
He's trying to get some of that free Pro Drift merch. So yeah, I'm just being told over the radio that the reason that Matt is down there is because Matt's with the Pro Drift guys. And I mentioned it earlier, I said that these guys are going to hand out some free merch. So if you're in the grandstands or around the edge of the circuit, look out for Yogi and the Pro Drift guys because they're going to be throwing away. Look, some of these big foam thumbs and some, other fun stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what they've got. They're gonna
They
chuck
didn't
out
tell us, did
some
they?
free merch. No, they just said free merch.
Yeah, look at that.
Wait, he's got his thumb up
He's got his
there.
thumb up. Yeah, so if you're around, give them a shout, give them a cheer, and I'm sure Yogi and the guys down there from Pro Drift will be throwing that stuff to you in the grandstands. You see Matt almost pulling the fence over as he attempts to go over in the grandstand and help the guys from Pro Drift give out some of this stuff. So while we've got this quick minute, we'll do a quick shout out to our sponsors. There we go, grandstands making some noise now. As we can see Alan Hinds making his way back to the paddock potentially. And yeah, a quick word to our sponsors while we get Matt and get the grandstands excited. Massive thank you to Samco Sport, Yellow Speed Racing, Excite Energy, Simpson Racing Products, OBP Motorsport, Corbo, Tarmac Sports, Competition Clutch, Slide Motorsport, Hell Performance, M-Tech Brakes, On It, Funk Motorsport and AM Details. And I didn't realise you can go and buy AM Details products in the merch tent.
Yeah. In the BDC merch tent, AM
Do you want to know a little
products.
secret?
Go on.
I don't have to buy any.
Why?
Because my mate, Alan Metcalf, who owns AM Details, last year sent me a big box of goodies.
How lucky are you?
Very lucky. And I cleaned my car from the other day, and I went over there a minute ago to sit in my car and use the phone, and the beading is perfect.
Hashtag beading.
Hashtag beading. Yeah, so get onto those guys, AM Details.
Awesome stuff.
Bottle all their own and make all their own products. And those guys, they even do classes. You can go up into Scotland and go and train with the guys on how to machine polish your car and how to detail your car. If you're thinking about getting into doing that kind of line of work, if you're thinking, look, I'm bored of my 9 to 5, I want to go into detailing, Alan Metcalf and the guys there at AM Details will take you on and they'll train you to become a professional detailer. And let me tell you, if you don't follow AM Details Facebook page and watch their blogs and their vlogs, they clean some seriously cool cars. And when I mean clean, that you could eat your dinner off the tyre, it's that clean.
Yeah, and it's probably cleaner than when the car came out of the factory.
It is, and they polish them cars to perfection. Really, really good bunch of guys. Don't forget, if you're here in attendance, head on over to the Pro Drift Academy, what should we call it, skid pan this weekend.
Well, it is with this one.
Turned the car park into a skid pan. You can pay to get a passenger ride, or you can pay to drive a drift car. I spoke to a few people yesterday that drove the drift cars, and they said, you know what, I had so much fun for so little money, and I think a few more people got hooked on drifting. Don't forget also, we've got some of our guys down there selling Yellow Speed Racing products. We've got Hell Performance in the house. We've got a number of other companies over there with trade stands. We've also got our little food village, open pits as well, so you can get down in the pits, go and see the stable of horses that Phil Morrison has brought, because he has brought a serious array of cars.
There's some serious kit in those kits. You need to go and have a little nosy. Get up close with the cars and
Yes,
speak
exactly.
to the team, speak to the drivers, have a chat. It's a great opportunity because it's not always possible to get into the pits.
No, it isn't. Look, I'm going to say it now. Get an opportunity to go down and get a photo and have a look around Sultan Al Qasimi's Mustang, because if that car gets shipped back to the UAE, it might never not come back, and that is one car that you don't want to miss while it's in the UK, because we can't thank the guys at Group D.ie to persuade Sultan enough to bring it over. Darren McNamara and his guys bringing Sultan and that car over this weekend, and giving us the opportunity to see it in action on track.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I feel a bit sorry for him because I bet he is not used to this rain.
He certainly isn't. And he said it last night. He said, I'll be the first person to admit that where I live, there isn't much rain.
I know.
Lots of sand, not a lot of rain.
No, I think I'd rather be over there, to be quite honest with you. We've also got the Excite guys. They're down
Certainly
there.
have got the
I had a
Excite
look
guys.
earlier. They've got some racing sims.
There's no point, because last time we went on there, I kicked your butt, and
Well,
you for a stop said that there was something wrong with your sim.
We all know that's a lie, but if it makes you feel any better in front of everyone, yeah, okay.
There we
You
go.
beat
So
me.
yeah, I beat
All right.
Sarah on the sim. As you can see at the start line, we have our British Drift Championship transit van. No, it doesn't drift, unfortunately. We'll work on that one. We'll get that one done in the off season. And he's going to be bringing out our top 16 for this afternoon. So, ladies and gentlemen, as these guys come past, I want you to show your appreciation. I know it's wet, I know it's cold, and I just want to say again a huge thank you to everybody who bought tickets online for grandstands or who bought pre-sale tickets to come here and support the British Drift Championship. I see you guys all the way around, from underneath the trees all the way to the initiation, because you guys literally are doing such good things for UK drifting, coming out of your homes and supporting it, and you guys at home watching it, racking those numbers up. You're pushing this sport forward, and I can't thank you enough. We're creating some future heroes right now in this championship, and the future in British drifting looks very, very good.
It does. It wouldn't happen without all the fans, would it? You know, there's a lot that goes into this with the team, the sponsors, so many different things that make this championship happen, but the fans have got to be, for me, you know, they're excellent. They're excellent.
How excellent are you, fans? Are you going to give Sarah a big cheer? Oh, you can do
I know
better
it's
than
raining,
that.
but you can do a little bit better
We'll
than
wait,
that.
we'll wait. You're going to have to do a lot of cheering in a minute with the top 16, so we'll wait.
All right,
we'll
right,
let them chill
get
for a
ready
minute.
in a minute. I want a better one than that.
You want a better one than that?
Yeah.
Because Sarah, you're getting demanding.
Well, the thing is, it's a bit wet and miserable. I need to cheer it up.
Yeah, it's very cold. You've got a blanket over your lap, you've got a jacket on, you're all hunched up.
I am. I'm like, it's like winter.
It is, again. I see a reoccurring pattern though, and it's like it every round.
It is, but I am also. Apparently, I'm northern, right? And not that anyone can tell, but I'm not used to the cold. I don't like it.
I don't like it, hence why I always travel.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be hardcore and like used to all the cold weather, but I'm just not.
You're not built for this
No,
weather, as they
I'm
say.
not.
So here they come, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, please show your appreciation for these guys as they come down. And in front of you, I do believe we've got our man Matt on the ground. I'm not sure if he's going to try and grab a couple of words with a few of these drivers as they pass him. And look, this top 16, it looks absolutely stacked and just insane to see. Look at the array of machinery. That Corolla of Phil Morrison's is insane. And the supercharged Magnuson LS3 350Z of Ian Phillips as he pops his head out of the car there, as BMW Z4 of Adam Simmons. Some really cool cars, and these guys, look, they blood, sweat and tears to put this show on for you this weekend and pour into these cars. As we can see, these guys now making their way around. The first battle, Sarah, we are going to see will be Scott Cartledge to take on your first place qualifier, Alan Hinds. And those guys are already strapped up, helmets on, hands devices in. They're ready to go, because as soon as this parade goes round back to the start line, those guys will be warming tyres, and those guys are going to be ready to go head-to-head battle. Perfect, okay, brilliant. So there we go. Those guys making their way around in front of the grandstand, where you guys at the grandstand are going to make some noise. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, as they come past the grandstand, I want you to make some noise for these guys. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There is our top 16. Grandstand, make some noise! That's what I'm talking about, Sarah.
That was better.
They're warming up. They're warming up. I'm going to stand up for the top 16. I'm feeling a little bit more alive than what I did this morning. We won't go into that. Down there, the first battle of the day, as you can see, it will be Scott Cartledge to take on Alan Hinds. Alan Hinds to take on Scott Cartledge. What an incredible battle. Drift Games Extreme Driver looking to come to the UK to make a mess of our championship. Well, let's see if he can go through our very finest Scott Cartledge. Give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Cartledge and Alan Hinds. Up next, we spoke about it earlier, we said the championship leader, Ricky Lawrence, well, he's got a task on his hands because he's going to be going against VP Racing Fuel's very own Oliver Evans, that Team Washloo S14. That guy turned up one weekend in Rockingham, and I tell you what, he made a mess of both championships. Ricky Lawrence has got a task on his hands as they make their way off circuit. Up next, it will be Oliver Bolton, Funk Motorsport's very own Oliver Bolton, to take on Lewis Mitchell, that Mitchell Motorsport, Boss Motorsport S14. Those guys going to go head to head. You know what? I don't even know what way that's going to go because Mitchell has been driving incredible as they make their way off. Make some noise, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this one. You couldn't even have written this. Charlie Hulme sits in a top 16 pro grid and he stares across and he's with Ireland's finest Tom Murphy. What a battle. Charlie Hulme has done some incredible stuff this weekend and he should be super proud. Make some noise for Charlie Hulme and Tom Murphy as they make their way off track, ladies and gentlemen. Up next, the boss of Driftworks, Driftworks' very own, the most crazy Toyota Corolla build in the world. Well, that will take on Mr. Consistent, our Pro-Am second place finisher from last year, Alistair Sutton. So ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Phil Morrison and Alistair Sutton. Up next, well, the man who completely made a hash of one qualifying run and then knocked it out of the park on the other one. He's been looking dangerous now in top 24 battles. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Ian Biz Phillips and Richard Grimmrod. Grimmrod making his return back, but this time in his wife's S14 V8 under the bonnet. Let's see what the two V8s do damage later on today. Up next, it will be Adam Simmons, finished up last round on the podium. Well, this time he's going to take on a guy that was on the podium just yesterday. Willie Hanna, our Pro-Am driver, looking stronger than ever. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Willie Hanna and Adam Simmons. And last but by no means least, Martin Monocott, the guy that is desperately hunting down the championship. Well, to take that championship, he's going to have to go through the guy who stood on the top step of the podium yesterday in the Pro-Am class. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Josh King and Martin Monocott. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, that is your top 16. And you know what? I'm excited to see it. Now I've seen it. Now I've seen it in the flesh. I've seen the guys lined up. I've seen how excited they are and how happy they are to be there. I'm thinking to myself, this could make history.
This could, I mean, this whole event really, it's like we've already discussed, Ian, it's throwing the championship on its head. We don't know what's going to happen, and this top 16 has got some really exciting drivers in it.
It certainly has. Look, and like I mentioned yesterday, we didn't even think we'd come back to this venue. We didn't even think this would be an opportunity. But Matt, the main man behind the BDC, went above and beyond and managed to secure this location again, and we got back here, and you know what? Yeah, we haven't had the best weather, but I think that weather has created us stories on the line. And ready to warm their tyres is Alan Hinds and Scott Cartledge, and this one is going to be a battle to the death, and let me tell you that Cartledge is not going to go down easy. S14 versus PS13, 2JZ versus 3UZ V8, 500 horsepower versus 700 horsepower, one daily driven, one a pure drift car, a pure drift car from Ireland that has been doing damage in one of the best championships from around the world. What has Alan Hinds got? Well, on a computer, he is clinically perfect. Can he take down Scott Cartledge in real life? We're about to find out. They scrubbed their tyres and they ball to the start line. Alan Hinds will lead out Cartledge, your first place qualifier, to take on your 17th place qualifier. I get the thumbs up to Toby. Birmingham, are you ready for your top 16 battles? Of course we are. Let's get this show on the road. Hinds to lead in Cartledge. Here we go. Off the line, Alan Hinds absolutely flying through the gears. Cartledge absolutely hooning. Oh my God, look at the proximity on initiation from Scott Cartledge, but he messes himself up massively as he now makes a dive down into outer zone 3. Now Alan Hinds looking absolutely dialed as he gets into the wall, tagging the back bumper along the wall. Scott Cartledge shortcuts the circuit to try and gain that proximity as Hinds puts the foot down, flying through the centre of the circuit as Alan Hinds now as he gets in to to that final 2 outer zones, and Scott Cartledge desperately trying to hang on as they bring it across the line.
Alan Hinds there just showing us why he's in this and why he's qualified so high today. He had one of the most amazing runs earlier on. He absolutely blew my mind. So that was, I can't say it's unexpected, but let's see how he fares the other way.
Look, if you didn't know who Alan Hinds was, if you've not been watching the Drift Games Extreme Championship, have you not been watching Irish drifting for the last couple of years and you wondered who this Alan Hinds kid was? Well, he just stamped his authority in the UK. He come before and he didn't have a turn of fortune. This time he means business. Off the line, Cartledge now to lead out Hinds, and let me tell you, Hinds' chase game's dangerous. He jumps onto the back bumper at that PS13. Big initiation from Cartledge. He's going wide. He's going very, very wide. That could be it for Cartledge. That could be it for Cartledge. As look at this from Hinds as he jumps straight onto the side. Flames banging from the side of Alan Hinds' S14 as he pushes Scott Cartledge around outer zone 5. And look at Alan Hinds as he balances that car perfectly behind the PS13. Bumper to bumper transition as Alan Hinds dives back up onto the side of the PS13 across the line. Birmingham makes some noise.
Unbelievable run. So Cartledge has actually managed to do most of that run with a cone stuck under the back of his car, which can't have helped him out. But Alan Hinds there just really showing everybody why he's coming over here. Like you say, he's throwing his name all about the place.
He certainly is. He's got no regard to UK drifting. He is just absolutely throwing his weight around. And well, look, when you can drive as good as what Alan Hinds can, why not? So they pull back into the centre of the circuit and we await to get the decision. And I think that big mistake from Scott Cartledge on initiation could be the nail in the coffin. It could be the end of the weekend from a Pro-Am champion. Decision's in, slide of left for Hinds, right for Cartledge, and there we go, unanimous. Alan Hinds gets the win. Alan Hinds gets the win and advances through to the Grade 8. Judges, we just throw it quickly back to you, but I'm pretty sure I'm correct.
Yeah, you agree, and pretty clear cut, to be fair. Alan had a really good lead line, and then on this chase position, Scott Cartledge fell off track, 4 wheels off, and the advantage 10-0 to Alan.
And there we go, a decision done and dusted, and Alan Hinds continues his reign and moves through to the Grade 8. Up next, Ricky Lawrence to take on Oliver Evans. Now look, I pitched these two guys against each other and said this is going to be tough. S13 versus S14, 2JZ versus 2JZ, 1 500, 1 700 horsepower. This is for the championship for Oliver Evans. For Ricky Lawrence, sorry. I'm getting a little bit carried away.
Oh, you're just too excited, too excited.
If Ricky Lawrence takes down Oliver Evans right now, he takes the lead in the championship because he will finish 6th or above. So he will overtake Aramis Vascalis. If Oliver Evans can take him down, this could be a whole new story yet again. We are ready to go. Oliver Evans sits on the line, staring down the track, ready to take down the UK's very finest. Right now, what has he got? Has he got it in the bag? Has Evans got what it takes to beat Ricky Lawrence? Can anybody beat Ricky Lawrence this weekend? Whoa, wow, look at Oliver Evans onto the back bumper and the side of that PS13 as Oliver Evans begins to push Ricky Lawrence around the circuit. As unbelievable as they transition into outer zone 3. There is no separation, almost wheels touching as Oliver Evans pushes Ricky Lawrence around that outer ring. They transition in the middle of the circuit, a little bit of room opens up now as Oliver Evans makes another dive onto the side of that PS13 and they go wheel to wheel across the line.
I think I've got to take it back. That is the closest we've seen all weekend. That was absolutely unbelievable from Evans there. He was absolutely all over the side of him, did not let him go the whole way around.
Look, I said to you earlier, Oliver Evans is one of these guys, he either comes in and makes a hash of it or he does that. Or he does it. Yeah. He gets the job done. And you know what Ricky Lawrence has said? I've had a bit of an easy ride the last couple of rounds. I've dominated. I've got on the top step of the podium. I'm so close to taking the championship off Aramis Vascalis. It's unbelievable. Oliver Evans took a look at that championship standings. He said, by the end of Sunday, there's going to be a completely new layout. We are ready to go. It's going to be Evans to lead out Lawrence. And you know what? Ricky Lawrence needs to put the chase run of his life on the line right now. And this is only the top 16. Thumbs up all round. They are ready to go. It will be Evans to lead, Ricky Lawrence to give chase, and look at Ricky Lawrence, he knows what he needs to do. He comes onto the back bumper of that S14. They both transition in and this is going very fast. He's just about holds it on circuit, but look at Lawrence on the back bumper. Oh wow, look at the dive from Ricky Lawrence as he gets onto the side of Oliver Evans and he pushes him into outer zone 4 and 5. Evans now comes into the centre of the circuit. Oh wow, and contact as Ricky Lawrence takes the back bumper of Oliver Evans' car. He gets back onto the side as they go for the final clipping point across the line. Birmingham raise the roof.
That has got to be one of the most exciting battles that we have seen throughout the entire championship, but not just this weekend. I think the entire championship so far. I had my suspicions at the beginning of how that was going to go, but I was a little bit surprised by both those drivers there.
Look at this, look Ricky Lawrence taunting Oliver Evans, trying to drive into the side of him. Look, I don't know what these guys think they're playing at. I haven't got a voice left after shouting all day yesterday, and now these guys are making me do it again, and this is just the top 16. By the final, Sarah, it's going to be all you, because I don't even know if I'm going to be able to speak. They're on there. Have we got a decision from our judges? Who is going to take it through to the Great Eight? Who is going to go home? Slide them left. Oh, wow, one more time. One more time. So there we go, one more time. Judges, sorry, I was just, I'm just a little bit thinking how we're going to get through a second battle of them guys. Throwing it to you, judges.
What an absolute treat for you guys. That was the best chase and lead battle we've seen all weekend. It was a 7-2 advantage on the first one, 7-3, and then we went again, it was a 7-3 for Chase. It was too close to call and amazing, and we're going to run it one more time.
I don't know if you've realised, but I haven't got a voice left. So if you just would quit with these one more times, because I don't know anymore. No, okay, fair enough. Look, I'm not going to blame you. I will lose my voice talking about these guys all day, Sarah.
The judges have broken Ian, basically. That's it. With all these one more times.
I'll tell you who broke me. These guys, because they've put on such a good show this weekend, and I'm going to go home with a sore voice at the end of the day, but I don't care, because I've seen some of the best drifting that the UK has ever produced at this circuit, and it's been incredible. As you can see in the background there, Oliver Bolton, he sits patiently waiting to do battle with Lewis Mitchell. But first up, we're going to do the one more time battle of Ricky Lawrence and Oliver Evans. And we are just waiting to get those guys around and sorted. They're going to have a quick look at the cars, make sure, probably remove a few body panels and come back to the start line. No tyres required, obviously. No. Maybe just a little bit of fuel.
Are they allowed to go and do that now? Have they got time? Are they allowed to go and refuel?
It doesn't look like they need to, because they're coming back to the line already. Ricky Lawrence pulls up to warm up his tyres. So Ricky Lawrence pulls up into the burnout box, ready to scrub his tyres, and we're just going to take a quick replay of this. Sarah, talk us through it.
The initiation from both drivers, Oliver Evans, that fantastic line through there, but Ricky Lawrence has really brought it. After that first run, Ricky Lawrence has really had to go, right, I am going to chase you down, I'm not going to let you, get away from me now. And he certainly didn't, the whole way around. Contact there, they were that close. He's took the bumper off Oliver Evans' car.
That's absolutely clinical, that is. Ladies and gentlemen, we are almost ready to rock and roll. It is going to be Ricky Lawrence to lead out Oliver Evans for a spot in the Great Eight. Are you ready to see him go one more time? Here we go, they're off the line, and we are good to go. It's going to be Lawrence to lead out Evans, and they know what to do. And look at this, all contact already! Evans pushing Ricky Lawrence into the initiation. Absolutely insane as Oliver Evans pushes Ricky Lawrence. They take down the cone on outer zone 2 and a big dive into outer zone 3, door to door now as they enter, and almost wheels making contact as Ricky Lawrence gets deep inside outside zone 5. They transition in the middle of the circuit, and Evans is all over the side of Lawrence, and again a big dive up onto the door goes Oliver Evans. They go wheel to wheel. Birmingham, show your appreciation.
I really thought that somebody might have made a mistake there, because the pressure's on. This is the chance they've got. They've got another lifeline to actually get through to the Great Eight. No, absolutely not. Evans was like, yeah, you're not getting away with this.
That push on initiation was cheeky. That was so uncalled for, but Oliver Evans said, if I'm going to get away with this, I'm going to do it. And he just gave him a little nudge as if to say, come on, buddy, I'm still here, and we can go faster. That's what he's saying to him, we can go faster, let's go faster. Well, these guys both sit ready to warm up their tyres to pull back to the start line. You can see Evans there. Oliver Evans gets into the burnout box. Ricky Lawrence warms his tyres and pulls to the start line, and Oliver Evans, now he sits there thinking, well, look, I had the advantage like this last time What can I do to make sure that Ricky Lawrence doesn't overturn me? What can I do to make sure I move through to the Great 8 and battle Alan Hinds? What can I do?
He is going to have to seriously bring this now, even harder than he did the first time round.
Exactly that. Thumbs up all round now, ready to go. It will be Evans to lead out Lawrence for a spot in the Great 8 against Alan Hinds. And look at this. Oh, wow. And Ricky Lawrence now repays the favour, pushing Oliver Evans. This is like a game of cat and mouse. They go door to door. And there's a big separation opened up. A bit of separations opened up as Oliver Evans now fires into outside zone. Ricky Lawrence has lost some ground. He's going to have to really work hard now to make this up, as Oliver Evans stares out the side glass of the window and tries to drive away from Ricky Lawrence, and there's separation. Ricky Lawrence has lost some ground, but he makes a big dive onto the door, into outside zone 7 and across the line. Birmingham, show your appreciation as he removes his bumper on the back end of the car across the finish line.
Unbelievable run once again. I'm sure the crowd agree down there. I can hear them all cheering. That was incredible. I mean, he did end up losing a little bit of ground on him, which I'm sure is going to be reflected in the judge's decision, but that last dive, he has gone all in there.
Ricky Lawrence, look, he come round outside zone 4 and 5 and he knew that Oliver Evans had started to pull away, and he said, I need to make a dive, I need to try and get some points back because he's driving away, and he made an incredible dive up onto the side. And look at that, high fives all round, left for Lawrence, right for Evans, who's going through to the Great 8? 1 vote for Evans, 2 votes for Evans. Oliver Evans goes through to the Great 8. Judges, simply put, that was beautiful.
Yeah, that we'd love to watch that all day. That was incredible. So Ricky's lead, great lead, a bit of a hard impact to clip 8 there, but Ollie chased absolutely amazingly, proper close. Brilliant transitions, really exciting stuff there. When they switched it around, unfortunately Ricky's lead put 2 wheels off. Ollie's lead was great, but Ricky put 2 wheels off and lost proximity, which obviously we couldn't reward anything there. So Ollie took the win from the chase there.
So there we go, Oliver Evans gets the win and advances through to the Great 8. He'll be taking on Alan Hinds in the Great 8 battle. On the line now we have 2 guys that really want this. They're very, very hungry. It'll be Lewis Mitchell to take on Oliver Bolton. Oliver Bolton qualified high enough, 4th place, to not even need to battle in top 24. And there we go, 440 horsepower takes on 500 horsepower. As we see both these guys on the line ready to do action. Oliver Bolton, this is his first year. This is his rookie year in the pro class. He's already halfway up the championship. Can he finish in the Great 8 in a big boy competition right here in Birmingham? Well, we're about to find out. Both these guys are rookies in their pro year. We are ready to send them off the line. It will be Bolton to lead out Mitchell for a spot in the Great 8. And look at that, off the line, eager to go. Oliver Bolton puts the hammer down straight away. 1JZ to take on SR20 right now, and a nice flick initiation from Bolton, and Bolton puts the foot down, and I know he's quick. He's going to start to pull away. He does. As Mitchell destroys some cones. Now he needs to make a big dive into outside zone 3. Look at the line of Bolton, nearly no slowing down as he gets nice and deep into 4. He's back onto the wall, goes on Bolton, as Mitchell now finds the side of that Funk Motorsport S13. They come through the centre of the circuit, and a big wobble from Mitchell. He's making a whole host of errors here as Bolton glues it to the wall one more time and takes it across the line.
Oliver Bolton there, did he just actually clip the wall as well at clipping point 8? I'm sure he just tapped it.
I think he clipped nearly every wall.
Every wall. Yeah, I think this next run with Mitchell in the lead, he is really going to have to bring it down, because he's made a fair few errors in that one.
Yeah, there was a big error there, dropping wheels out. I mean, look, I'm surmising if I say it, I don't really want to say, but that could potentially be a 10-0 advantage to Oliver Bolton. Oliver Bolton does sacrifice outside zone 4, he washes to the wall and gets deep into 5. But look, it wasn't an exact pinpoint perfect run, but it was a pretty good lead run there from Oliver Bolton. He gets nice and close to the wall right at the end here. He actually rubs the back end of the car on the wall, but Lewis Mitchell made a whole host of errors, like you said, Sarah. He made mistakes in that chase position. I think he got a little bit panicky. I think he worried that Bolton was driving away. Yeah,
I think that's it. It must be so difficult. You can see as well, it's almost a desperation of trying to keep up with that front driver. When they're putting the speed on, you need to keep up, and you end up making errors and sacrificing quite a lot, really, just to try and keep up with that lead driver.
Exactly that. Well, we get the thumbs up, we're ready to go. It will be Lewis Mitchell now to lead out Oliver Bolton for a spot in the Great 8 here at BDC, and we are good to go. Look at this, Bolton side by side with Mitchell. Is he going to tuck in, or is he going to tuck in at the last minute? Oh, look at this, Bolton's bringing the heat. Oh, what a big problem, a big problem. Oh, wow. Wow, a big problem for Lewis Mitchell, and I'm not even sure what happened there as we have to shut that run down. We need to see a replay of that. That was incredible. I'm not even sure what happened.
I suspect.
Wow, look at this. So we're going to look at replay.
Issue.
Yeah. And does he try to turn in? Look at the front wheels. That's what we're going to look at.
Yeah.
He pitches the car sideways.
And he slightly turns, but actually nothing really happens. I wonder if there's.
Look at that, up the curb and almost
Oh, he's hit that
makes
lamppost as
contact with the
well.
lamppost.
He has. He's on the front corner there.
Oh, wow.
He's gone right into it. Yeah, it's as if the wheels weren't really turning. So I wonder if there's been a steering issue.
Yeah, look, for
As he's
me
coming
personally,
down
I think there's either a horrendous case of understeer, trying to carry enough speed to try and drive away from Oliver Bolton. Oliver Bolton was on the back bumper. There was no way that Lewis Mitchell was going to drive away from him. That's big impact. That's a big contact there for Lewis Mitchell. And that car, look, ladies and gentlemen, he just spent the last couple of weeks rebuilding that car after serious impact Teesside.
I know, and now
that car was picked up from having its new vinyl livery done on Friday night. They turned up late hours Friday night, and that car again needs more work. And you know what, dejected Lewis Mitchell will be in the car. We're going to try and throw down to Matt House if we can, because he's with Lewis Mitchell, because we want to find out exactly what went wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, understand that Lewis Mitchell is going to be very heartbroken.
I'm sorry, did you see literally on this shift went into third and it just snatched the wrong way. Just couldn't hold, and then just touched the brakes and went straight on. So just a mistake, but you know, I've had a good day, and that's all that matters.
So have you got extra panels sitting at home for this now?
I just think it's bad. This front end's bad luck. They just keep crashing it. So but I've had a good weekend, and you know, hats off to Matt and the team. So I'll be back next round.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to seeing it in one piece again. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Matt. Ladies and gentlemen, give that man a round of applause. Worked tirelessly to get that car repaired after the incidents at Teesside, and said, yeah, look, this car's just bad luck. This body kit just doesn't want to be on this car. And again, look, the good thing is he's smiling, he's happy, he's had a good weekend, although he's took that damage onto the car. He's having fun, he's safe, and that's all that matters.
Exactly. I was just about to commend his attitude, really. I mean, obviously he's going to be so disappointed, but he knows what happened. He'll be trying to not make that mistake again. It's one of those things, you're trying to react so fast.
Exactly
when you're going around here, one little error from you, and you're in that kind of predicament.
Exactly that. Well, we have got Oliver Bolton sitting in the middle of the circuit, so we do need to make it official and put it up on the screen. And Oliver Bolton has just been gifted a spot in his first Grade 8 here in the Pro class, and we will get that up on the screen and make it official for you guys. And there we go, slide them left for Bolton. Unfortunately, Lewis Mitchell out of competition. But ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Oliver Bolton. Funk Motorsport's very own, that takes it through to his first Grade 8 in the competition. And you know what? Oliver wouldn't have wanted a win like that. You could see him on the back bumper already trying to force it. And I'll tell you exactly what Oliver Bolton's going to do right now. He's going to go into the paddock. He's going to go meet up with Lewis Mitchell. And he's going to go and shake his hand and say, bro, I'm sorry.
That is exactly what he's going to do.
So Bolton moves through into the Grade 8. Up next, Charlie Hulme to take on Tom Murphy. Nissan versus Nissan. S13 versus S13. 300 horsepower versus 400 horsepower. This one is, you couldn't have even written it. I said it earlier, you couldn't have even wrote a script and said we're going to stage this, because Charlie Hulme would have said, never in my life is that going to play out.
No, in everyone's wildest guesses, this would not have been a pairing that we thought we were going to see. Charlie Hulme, I mean, he's on fire this weekend. I mean, this one here is what I am super excited to see.
Let me tell you something right now. I think if Charlie Hulme wins this and moves through to the Grade 8, I think it will be the most a driver has ever done from one step. I think it will be the most from unseeded to seeded to Pro-Am to Pro. He's off the line. He's going to lead out Tom Murphy for a spot in the Grade 8 here, and he is not messing around right now. Murphy throws it on big angle and then has to dial it back out again. Murphy losing a lot of ground. He's going to sacrifice a huge amount of line. He's got wheels off the edge of the circuit, and Murphy almost catches the back end of that car on the wall. as Charlie Hulme gets nice and close to the wall there. I thought he was going to make big contact with him, but Mr. Cool keeps his cool, puts the foot down one more time in the centre of the circuit. You see him absolutely flying right now as Charlie Hulme, he gets into the outer zone. Tom Murphy sacrificing the line to try and gain proximity as they bring it across the finish line.
If for some unknown reason you haven't seen Charlie Hulme yet this weekend, this is exactly why he's got as far as he has, because he is Mr. Consistent, isn't he? And he's so cool, calm and collected when he's in that car. He just doesn't put a foot wrong.
He doesn't put a foot wrong. He's so clinical and he is so good. His line driving is impeccable.
He's just precise, isn't he?
Mr. Precise. Right now, that preciseness is getting him where he needs to be. And, he's in a chase position. We know that Tom Murphy's got a higher horsepower car. Can he drive away, or can Charlie Hulme, use that consistency and that perfect line to glue it to the side, that Mega Spec PS13? They're on the line, they get the thumbs up, it's good to go. It'll be Hulme to chase down Tom Murphy for a spot in the Grade 8 here in the Pro class right now. And look at Charlie Hulme, not messing around. Initiates exactly the same time as Tom Murphy, and he's getting right up onto the side, and look at that from Charlie Hulme, shallows up the angle. Oh, the big impact! A big impact into the side of Tom Murphy's car, and I am not even sure what happened there. We definitely need to see a replay of that. Not a lot of damage onto the front there of Charlie Hulme's car, but
there's definitely some damage to the side of
Tom Murphy's door. Yeah, it looks he's abandoned the car down the bottom there, and you know what, the track guys here, they built that escape lane, and that was the best thing I think they did, because if that was a concrete wall, a solid concrete wall, Charlie Hulme, all four wheels locked up, the car just understeered, he had nowhere to go, he couldn't get out of it. There is nothing he could do, the car just completely understeered, he got all four wheels locked up and he was stuck travelling in a straight line, and I think that is the first time we have seen Charlie Hulme put a foot wrong all weekend.
We cursed him.
I cursed him, yeah.
I think
that
I
happens
did.
a lot.
I think I did as well, to be fair. I'll hold my hands up. Yeah, that is the first time we've seen him actually make any kind of real error, and unfortunately ended up being quite a big one.
Ladies and gentlemen, give them a round of applause as they pull up there, and you can see decisions in. Tom Murphy gets the win, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Murphy gets the win and advances through into the Grade 8. A simple one for you guys, judges. That lock-up and impact was deemed at Charlie's fault. As you can see, both guys making their way off the circuit. Tom Murphy, arms up in the window, he's not sure what's going on there.
And we can hear, and I can tell you that is straight away warming up his tyres down there. I think that's Phil Morrison.
It certainly is, yeah. Up next it will be Phil Morrison to take on Alistair Sutton. And this one, look at this, 720 horsepower to take on 280 horsepower, and Toyota Corolla to take on Nissan 200SX S15, but that is, S14, that is not a normal Toyota Corolla, let me tell you that. That is almost a true chassis, V8, fire-breathing, live-axled demon of a Toyota Corolla. Phil Morrison once told me that car, all it wants to do is chew him up and spit him out every time he drives it, and I don't even know how he could even begin to drive that car. And they're off the line and ready to go. It will be Morrison to lead out Sutton. And look at Sutton. Sutton knows the pace. Oh, wow, Morrison's coming in very, very hot. But he's way offline. Morrison comes in way too hot, comes way offline. Now, they continue up the run as Alistair Sutton gives him some room to get back on circuit. Morrison gets nice and deep into that outer zone, but Sutton with him all the way onto the side of that Driftworks Toyota Corolla. As Morrison, you can tell, angry in the car, dives back onto the wall one more time, and Sutton right with him though, as they go wheel to wheel across the finish line.
I think Alistair Sutton's game plan here is just got to get round and let Morrison make the mistake, and unfortunately, he did right at the beginning on initiation.
Yeah, just coming too hot, and we said it before, you just cannot come in that hot at that part of the circuit with that big of an initiation, because you can't carry it. It just, especially in this weather, it just will not allow it to happen, and there's such a fine margin of going off track there that and a lot of drivers falling foul to it. We spoke about it the other day, and we said if that was a concrete wall, you wouldn't be able to go nowhere near as close or as fast as you want to try and go.
No, that's it. I think it's actually it's kind of a good challenge for them, because they're having to judge it without a wall or a barrier of any kind being there. So they're having to judge it just on looking at the lines alone, which are difficult in this weather and difficult when you're at that speed as well, sideways.
It certainly is. Look, and a lot of people have said, well, why have you put the cones out there now? Because obviously cars keep going off and knocking the cones over. Drivers say that when they initiate, they can't even see the boomerang or the orange slice, as it's now been renamed. It doesn't even exist until you get right up on top of it. And you know, when you're carrying a lot of speed, fourth gear in that initiation, you need a visual representation. You need something to show you where it is, and those cones are put there yesterday when it rained, so that our drivers could see exactly where the centre of that is. So,
and I'm sure they'd all rather knock a cone than knock something like a wall.
A wall, yeah, exactly that. So on the line, Alistair Sutton to lead out Phil Morrison, and Phil Morrison knows that Alistair Sutton hasn't got all the horsepower in the world, so he gives him a big jump there on initiation, and now Morrison will start to hunt down Alistair Sutton as they come through outside zone 2 and dive down his outside zone 3. Look at the speed that Phil Morrison's car can carry as they get into the wall. Look at that from Morrison. He just gained about 50 car lengths in a split second as they come through the centre of the circuit. Now Morrison looks down at the side of Alistair Sutton's car, but it could be all too much too late as Morrison pushes on the side of the S14 and across the line.
Very strong chase from Morrison, but like you say, could it be too little too late? You know, he made an error in his lead run. How are the judges going to see this one? We shall find out in just a minute. The drivers are coming back around to receive the results.
Yeah, so the guys are going to pull up back in the middle of the circuit to get the decision. And I think it's all over. I think it's all over for Morrison. The wheel's off there on the initiation for him. That's just, you know, we've seen it time and time. Yeah, exactly. I think that's the done deal, unfortunately, for Phil Morrison. So you guys pull up, slide them left for Morrison, right for Sutton, and there we go, unanimous. Alistair Sutton gets the win and advances through. Phil Morrison knows what he done wrong. He knows he got it overcooked, and he bows out of competition. But nevertheless, what a drive, and we thank Phil Morrison for coming down this weekend and bringing all of his toys to show us. Judges, simple one, 4 wheels off track. That's not drifting, right? Well, it is drifting, but not where you want to be drifting.
No, not what we want to see at all. But unlucky Phil, because he's been actually really peddling that car. It's a hard car to drive as well, apparently. So it's just a shame putting that the 4 wheels off there, scoring a 10-0, and then Alistair not putting a foot wrong in his lead. He goes through.
So there we go, Alistair Sutton moves on to a grade 8 here at BDC, and we keep the action rolling. Up next will be Richard Grimmrod to take on Ian Phillips. 2 V8s, 2 Nissan chassis, one with a Magnuson supercharger bolted on top though to breathe a little bit more air down the neck of that V8. And Ian Phillips, like we said earlier, made a hash of his qualifying run, but right now he looks dangerous as they come in that brand new build for Richard Grimmrod. Not even his car, his wife's car. As he fires it in, and again Richard goes wide. Richard Grimmrod goes very, very wide. They come through the centre of the circuit though, and Phillips starts to give him some room, and that's very fast. As Richard Grimmrod holds onto it, that was incredible. And Ian Phillips makes a whole host of errors, finds himself in the middle of the circuit, absolutely falling apart right now. There's Ian Phillips, and the lead line from Richard Grimmrod looking very, very good as he takes it to the wall and across the line.
I think Ian Phillips is possibly feeling the pressure there. I mean, he like I said earlier, he did score a 0 in one of his qualifying runs, and he managed to get a decent score in the second, which has put him through to the battles. But I think he's probably feeling a little bit of pressure now, and he's made a couple of errors in that first run. Let's see how he fares in the lead.
Yeah, Ian Phillips now moves over to the lead position, and Richard Grimmrod to give chase. And just a whole host of errors there from Ian Phillips, especially as they come down into outer zone 3. You see Phillips in the middle of the circuit, stalling that car up. I think maybe a shift issue, but Richard Grimmrod had so much pace through 3 up into the wall, and he was just up and gone, and I think that caught Phillips by surprise. They're off the line. Ian Phillips to lead out Richard Grimmrod for a spot in the grade 8 right now, and look at Richard Grimmrod. He initiates before Ian Phillips. He's very wide. He's going to spin. He just about holds onto it, but it's an opposite drift potentially for Grimmrod there as he flicked the car the other way. He looks now to try and catch back up with Ian Phillips, and Phillips now puts on a very good lead line, and Richard Grimmrod comes firing into that outer zone as he puts the bumper to the wall and across the line. Ian Phillips with his arm out the window.
Yeah, he was pleased with that one for sure. Arm hanging out the window, look a little donut for the crowd there, well, half a one. I thought he was going to carry on then, give us a nice little show, maybe not. So they'll pull onto the middle of the track now, and we'll get an official result. Ian's happy with that, giving the car a little tap.
No, I'm not sure where that's going to go, because that over rotation from Grimmrod wheels off from Phillips could go one more time.
It could do.
No, look at this. 1 vote for Ian Phillips, 2 votes for Ian Phillips. Ian Phillips gets the win, and those mistakes overturned. A scrappy battle from both those guys.
Yeah, not what we've come to see from both of these drivers. But obviously, Rich had a spin almost. That was a 10-0. the initial first run was a 9-1 advantage to Rich Grimmrod. So Biz Phillips was very lucky, takes that by 1 point, and that was how small the margins were.
So there you go, 1 point takes that for Ian Phillips, because he knows he made so many errors in that chase position.
Yeah.
That he ended up messing up that straighten as he come round the outer turn. And Ian Phillips just literally clawed a top 8 finish by 1 point.
1 point. I was going to say it was
he's a lucky
close,
man. If anyone's going to put the lottery on this week, it should be Ian Biz Phillips. We go back to the start line. Willie Hanna now takes on Adam Simmons, and Adam Simmons is probably looking across saying, "You're in the wrong group, buddy. This isn't the prime class."
He deserves his place here today.
He certainly does deserve his place. He's been driving like a demon all weekend, and we've seen a few mistakes from Adam Simmons. Can Adam Simmons take down the Pro-Am third place finisher yesterday? As they come off the line, it will be Hanna to lead out Simmons. And look at that, Simmons onto the back bumper of that Nissan Skyline as they fire in to the first turn. But Willie Hanna drops wheels over the edge of the circuit. That could be a 10-0 already. The judge has been so harsh on that line. As now they get nice and deep into outside zone 4. Onto the wall goes Willie Hanna, but door on door is Adam Simmons as they transition back into the middle of the circuit. Willie Hanna nice and deep into 4. Almost contact. How did Adam Simmons miss the side of that car?
Fantastic driving from Adam Simmons there. I don't know how he missed that. I really don't know how he missed that.
That was right in front of us.
Yeah.
Literally right in front of us, and I thought, that is it, it's done. That's a
Yeah,
done deal. That's going to be an accident.
that's it. I thought exactly the same. Willie Hanna there showing a really good run. Did go a bit wide there though at the beginning.
Looks like he's only one or maybe 2 wheels.
Yeah,
so
is that going to damage him?
I don't think that's going to be a 0. I think I was a little bit too excited there, Sarah, at that moment in time.
It's difficult to see though, like you said earlier, there's 2 cars out there, but you're trying to watch them both and we missed little pieces, so it's great to see these replays where we can actually say, actually no, he didn't do that, or yeah, he caused that, or see the details that we missed the first time round. These replays are great. He scooped up a cone there as well just at the end, coming through 8. He's took that with him. We've lost another cone.
Lost another one. Our track marshals have moved more cones this weekend than I don't even know what. My man Toby is looking at me shaking his head. Judge is looking at the replay of this. They're trying to assess how many wheels it is. Look, it's 1. The front one doesn't go. Oh, the front one is literally on the verge, line.
Isn't it? Yeah. I wonder how they will judge that. So you can see Willie Hanna and Adam Simmons just lined up there for the next run. We're just waiting for the judges to make sure they're happy with the decision for the first. And then we'll get the thumbs up ready to go again.
So yeah, judges just deliberating this one. I can hear 10 zeros being thrown around. So I wonder if they're trying to assess if or who made a fault, put wheels off the circuit. We do get a thumbs up, just like we look like we are ready to go for the second half of the battle, and it will be Willie Hanna now to chase down Adam Simmons. Adam Simmons really rearranged the front end of that BMW Z4 on the back end of Willie Hanna's Skyline. Will Willie Hanna try and repay the favour, or will no contact be made? They're coming flying down now to initiate, and a nice subtle initiation there from Adam Simmons. He doesn't want to throw wheels off track. The spotters on the radio will be telling him that this one could be a close one. Right now you need to play your cause. He comes firing down into outside zone 3 and sets that car up perfectly on that line. Oh, when Willie Hanna almost gets it wrong, puts big angle into it and slows himself down massively as Adam Simmons comes flying through the middle of the circuit. Adam Simmons steps himself up nicely onto the wall, and there's no proximity whatsoever from Willie Hanna as he brings it across the finish line.
Yeah, Willie Hanna's just losing that proximity there. I think that's probably going to be a big factor in the judge's decision. Both drivers just heading back to the middle of the circuit as well, so we will find out what the judges have decided. I don't think I can call that one.
I'll tell you the reason why I don't know if I could call it, because I don't know if what way the judges are going to call it with the wheels off, with the wheels off in the first run. There's a very, a very nice second half of the battle, no proximity, but no one really, only Willie Hanna made one slight mistake. Everything else was pretty clean from that. The judges want to see a replay now. And looking back at the replay again of Willie Hanna, they're trying to assess maybe if it was 3 wheels off from Willie Hanna, or did Adam Simmons go 4 wheels off. And this is close. Like, this is going to literally come down to a 1 wheel off track that is going to determine who goes through. The decision's in, slide them left for Hanna, right for Simmons, and there we go, unanimous. Adam Simmons gets the win. Judges, a little bit of deliberating there, not as clear cut as what maybe everyone else thought.
No, that's right, Ian. We just wanted to watch the first corner of the first run. The main reason being is William Hanna went in a bit too hot, and he was the first driver to drop 3 wheels off the track. Adam also came off track, but obviously it was a 10-0 advantage to Adam because William was the first driver to make the fault.
So there we go, yeah, wheels off track, and it was close. It was a very, very close one. We move it along to the final battle of our top 16, and that will be Martin Monocott to take on Josh King. And look at that Toyota Chaser, JZX 100, 1JZ, 700 horsepower to take on BMW E36, M50 Turbo, 650 horsepower. Pro Drift Academy to take on Farstar. Well, this as well has championship in it, because if Josh King takes Martin Monocott out of it, Martin Monocott starts to lose even more points, and things at the top ain't looking very good for some of our championship leaders at the moment. And apparently, if he beats King, he will tie points with Vasquez. If he comes 6th overall, sorry. So if Martin Monocott comes 6th overall, he will tie points at the top with Vasquez going into Three Sisters in a few weeks' time.
That is going to change things up massively.
So you know what? I wonder if Monocott knows this. I wonder if he's done the maths. I wonder if he's sat at home and written everything down, all the scenarios, and worked out what he needs to do to beat or better Vasquez. Well, look, a podium will better Vasquez. Here we go. On the line, they are ready to go. It will be Monocott to lead out Josh King for a spot in the Grade 8, and they are good to go. Josh King, nothing to lose this weekend. He's on bonus time right now. Can he take down one of the hottest properties in UK drifting? As Martin Monocott, lovely initiation, but Josh King goes very wide. Josh King goes very, very wide. Now Josh King starts to make up that lost ground as he dives into outside zone 3, but look at Monocott just balancing that car perfectly as he gets nice and deep into outside zone 5, rubs the bumper along the wall, or what's left of the rear end of the car onto the wall, as Josh King now makes a dive into the final 2 outer zones, and the back of the car onto the wall goes Martin Monocott.
Both drivers there really giving it their all, but Josh definitely went, I would say, too wide after initiation. I don't know how much that's going to damage his score with the judges there, but he's got another chance now to really put a strong run in the lead position.
Yeah, Josh King's going to try and put in like a 100-point qualifying run. He's going to give it his all. He did drop wheels though. He did drop wheels in the middle of the circuit there. So from what the judges are saying earlier, that could be the end of the weekend for Josh King. But I don't want to surmise. I don't want to make that decision. I don't want to be the guy that puts that bad news in the air. But unfortunately, that is my job. And Martin Monocott now sits on the line. Those green and red headlights on, and the eyes of the beast are alive as they come off the line. It will be Monocott to chase down King. And look at that from Monocott, straight onto the back end of the E36 as he hunts down Josh King. They come flying in, and King's very wide again. Look at Monocott holds back ever so slightly, now starts to rein him in, now starts to apply the pressure as they come flying down into outside zone 3. Josh King puts the pedal to the metal. Oh, and a little wobble there from Martin Monocott as he shallows up the angle massively. Both guys take it to the wall as they come through the middle of the circuit now. A little bit of an error there from King again as he sets himself up for that wall run, and he's way off that qualifying line.
Josh King just ripping his bumper off completely there over the finish line. I think Monocott's game there is he's just got to put in a good safe run and a good chase. He did have a little wobble coming into sort of clipping 3 and 4, but from where I'm sat, it didn't look like it was enough to repair the damage really that Josh has done with going too wide twice, I think now.
Yeah.
But I could have missed something.
No, I think Josh King went wide on his lead and on his chase, and for me there was a big error as he transitioned from out zone 6 onto 7. He sacrificed the line ever so slightly. Decisions in. Look at this. 1 vote for Josh King. 2 votes. Oh, sorry, all 3 votes. It's unanimous for Martin Monocott. Martin Monocott gets the. Stop teasing me like that, judges. Stop playing games with me. Judges, a very, very good battle there. Wheels off though for Josh King.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
So basically it was the case of the fact that Josh King dropped all wheels off of the 3 wheels off of the area that we said in our briefing on both runs.
So there we go, wheels off the track for Josh King. Means Martin Monocott gets the win.
I think that means he's happy.
Yeah, I think he's happy too. So that's it, Sarah. That is the last battle of our top 16, and that means we are ready to kick off our Grade 8, and our Grade 8 is stacking up very, very good. As you can see, the graphic now popping up on your screen, it will be Alan Hinds to take on Oliver Evans, and that one is going to be a battle of titans. Then after that, it will be Oliver Bolton to take on Tom Murphy, and Phillips to take on Sutton, Monocott to take on Simmons, the first battle of this Grade 8 is just going to be something else. I think if you want to film something this weekend, if you want to film some drifting with your mobile phone, take it out of your pocket now, put it on video camera and get ready to press record, because I'm telling you right now, Oliver Evans, he's got a little bit of a beef with the Irish. He's got a little bit of beef with the Irish. Every time he goes over there, he gets bullied, he gets picked on, and he doesn't always get the decision he wants. So right now, he says, you're in my playground.
Yeah.
Well, let's see who's the big boy right now. On the line, it will be Alan Hinds to lead out Oliver Evans for a spot in the final 4. Who's going to take it through? Who can have a shot at the podium? Here we go. And look at that, Evans hunting him down, but a little bit of separation, a big initiation from Alan Hinds, and he holds that car perfectly. Oh, but he shuttles up and contact from Oliver Evans as Oliver Evans pushes Alan Hinds sideways again. Evans back on throttle. Look at him absolutely working, keeping that car perfectly balanced as they get into those outer zones, and door on door go Evans and Hinds, and almost contact on the transition again. They come through outer zone 6 and back onto the door again goes Oliver Evans, but a little bit of separation as Hinds takes it across the line.
I think Alan Hinds has definitely met his match there. That has got to be the most pressure we've seen all day. Oliver Evans, he wants this really badly, and he's going to put the pressure on Hinds until he craves, basically.
Let me say something about Alan Hinds. He's only a young guy, understated little young man.
Yeah.
He doesn't cave under pressure.
Well,
he's like an RSJ. He could hold up the NEC, let me tell you that for nothing. Oliver Evans in the background warming his tyres up. Alan Hinds sits on the start line ready to rock and roll, thumbs up all round, and this is for the final 4. Who is going to make it through to the final 4? Will it be Evans? Will it be Hinds? Well, Hinds is going to have to glue that Pro Drift S14 to the side of that VP Racing S14. They come off the line, and look at this from Alan Hinds. He's side by side. He knows he's not going to mess around. In the middle of the track, initiation from Hinds as he jumps straight up onto the door and starts to push Oliver Evans through the middle of the circuit as they transition back into outer zone 3. Look at this from Alan Hinds, just keeping his ground, not making too many mistakes, wheel to wheel there on outer zone 5 as they come round and through into the middle of the circuit. Almost contact. Hinds is absolutely clinical. Oh wow! Alan Hinds pushes Oliver Evans onto the wall and across the line.
and he's actually taken the bumper off Evans' car as well, just as he's crossed the finish line.
Just as Evans crossed the line, he over-rotated, and Alan Hinds clipped the car and just pulled the front bumper off. Incredible,
I'm hoping that
stuff.
was technically after the line.
That was after the line, yeah.
Good. But that was a pretty savage run there from Hinds. Well, from both drivers, but Hinds was just, after that first run with Evans chasing him down, now Hinds has gone, I'm not having that. I'm going to pile his pressure on. Look at the dive, the last minute.
Absolutely incredible. Yeah, just knocked the front bumper off with his rear wheel, and Oliver Evans won't like that. He won't be happy about that.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause, Oliver Evans and Alan Hinds. Alan Hinds making the journey all the way over from Ireland this weekend to come and compete. And as he gets out of the car, hit with all the sound, the Welshman, Oliver Evans. Look at them tussling down there. They're tussling on and off track, beating each other up with the cars. The judges wanted to see some replays again, different angles on the transit. Look at the transition of Alan Hinds as he tags the side of Oliver Evans' car with the side of his car. Incredible stuff. We got any Oliver Evans fans in the house? We got any Alan Hinds fans in the house?
Quite an even match there.
Quite an even match. Who wants to see these guys go one more time? I do. I want to see him go one more time because I think Alan Hinds can pull a better chase out of the bag. I think he's got a better chase in him. I think when he's put on the ropes, he really comes alive. I think the little switch clicks inside. Yeah. I think he comes alive. He gets hungry for it. I'm not saying they're not hungry for it now, but I think Alan Hinds has got 10% left in the tank. He hasn't unloaded it yet. I think he's got a little bit left to tip out. And look at the back end of Oliver Evans' car. That's absolutely destroyed. Judges deliberating this one. This one, a very tough one. This is for the final four. Who will take it through to the final four? 2 shots at the podium. And you know what? Oliver Evans would love nothing more than to get a shot at that podium, and Alan Hinds would love to come to the UK and stand on the UK podium and prove that the Irish drivers are the best in the world. Judges talking about this one again.
Yeah.
Still talking about this one.
Deliberating a lot about this one, but I can understand why. It's quite a difficult one. Both drivers are putting astounding runs there.
So we are waiting to get the official word to see if they have a decision who is going to be taking it through to the final four. So it does look like those guys maybe have come to a decision. Yeah, here we go. Slide them left for Hinds, right for Evans. 1 vote for Hinds. 2 votes for Hinds. Alan Hinds gets the win and advances through. Judges, we need to send it over to you. That wasn't an easy decision by any means.
No, that wasn't at all. We have obviously had a good chat about that, and we've asked for replays to sort of confirm what we saw. So what we had to do, where Ollie came to a complete stop before the finish line, we had to assess fault there because a 10-0 had been scored. Now, Alan did give him a bit of a tap just before flip 7 there as he transitioned. It was a properly committed transition there, right up against him. Ollie was on the good line round the wall there. The tap, you could see the correction in Ollie's sort of angle at that point, but he then settles the car on that angle, doesn't hit the wall. If it was if that tap was gonna do anything, it would cause a spin or put Ollie into the wall. But Ollie got onto the brakes for some reason, then came to a complete stop, and we can't give that as Alan's fault. So unfortunately, Ollie sort of threw that away at that point.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and there we go. Oliver Evans punched himself in the face there a little bit and knocked himself out of the competition. We move it along to this one. Oliver Bolton now to take on Tom Murphy. 440 horsepower to take on 400 horsepower. Nissans, both S13s, one an SR20, one a 2JZ. UK and Ireland go head to head. Once again, will Ireland stand victorious, or will the UK have one person in the top 4? Here we go. Look at the separation. Oliver Bolton not messing around. He has dialed every ounce of grip in there. He's very wide though. Christoph's one wheel over the edge of the circuit, but he's put himself off that qualifying line now as he fires down into outside zone 3. Tom Murphy struggling to keep up, as you can see, dialing off that angle, trying to shallow the car up. Bolton puts foot to floor though. He's trying to desperately pull away from the Irishman, trying to put as much ground as he can, but big mistake in the middle of the circuit for Tom Murphy as Bolton sticks that car to the wall and comes across the line.
Tom Murphy giving it all he's got there, but I think Bolton has just made a bit of a neater run. So I don't think it was the best chase from Murphy, but he could well put in a very strong lead.
Yeah, but there was mistakes from both guys there. Oliver Bolton, you're right, didn't put down the perfect lead line. He came in very, very hot and fast, and he put one wheel over that, the boomerang, should we call it. Didn't go as deep as what we've seen most of our guys, but what he did do was dial on a lot of angle there, and it sacrificed outside zone 2. He managed to get himself back on the qualifying line, but it was scrappy. Tom Murphy, though, for some reason, started to make a whole host of errors. He started diving, he started shortcutting the circuit, he made a big straight and coming into... He didn't even attempt to wash the car out to outside zone 6. So Oliver Bolton was in the middle of the track, but still he was drifting. It was like a straight line almost from Tom Murphy. So judges talking about this one now. Murphy hasn't returned to the line as of yet. Oliver Bolton sits patiently waiting, to do the run. And that car, that car looks pretty gangster sitting there like that, doesn't it, with that wrap. That livery is very cool.
It looks pretty mean.
Yeah, shout out to Craig at Violent D for doing that. He's responsible for a lot of the liveries in the British Drift Championship. So Tom Murphy pulls up to the line. Oh no, Tom Murphy sails through the line. He's called a 5-minute rule. So problems with the car from Tom Murphy, and could this be it? Could this be a chink in the armour? We know Tom Murphy's been tirelessly working on that car in the pits all weekend, trying to get it to 100%, and he's going to have a word with our track marshal. He's going to pick up our 5-minute marshal there, Jason, and he's going to take him into the pits, and he will assess what he's doing and make sure what he's doing is safe. So we have got Oliver Bolton backed up off the line. And as we see those guys warming their tyres up, we're going to go a shout down to Matt, because Matt caught up with Yellow Speed Racing earlier on today.
So we're down at our pits. We have got an incredible array of merchandise and traders on show for you, and we're here with Yellow Speed, one of our title sponsors. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you?
Really good, thank you. So, what's so good about Yellow Speed compared to another coilover manufacturer?
Well, it comes down to R&D, where they're manufactured. There's just racing throughout the development. Like before any coilover gets to the market, we thoroughly research, make sure everything is spot on, and then just ensure that what you're putting on the car is right for your car.
Cool. Some serious R&D and basically making sure the spec is right for the car.
Exactly. We've got different arrays of different ones available for different cars, different needs. From Dynamic Pro Sports for Dynamic Pro Drifts if you're looking for a little bit more turning. If the car's super built, we've got Pro Plus Racing available. And yeah, we've got something for everything. It's down to valving and down to how oil is flowing through the shops and obviously heat dissipation, just so you're getting the most out of the coilover.
Well, that's it. Well, the people at home and obviously some of the drivers might not understand, with some of these sort of copy ones or other ones that are cheaper on the market, they obviously they'll just valve the same throughout their whole range, so it doesn't differ throughout obviously the range that specifies for obviously what the customer is looking for. Obviously you've got a lot of other products here that obviously you do as well. It's nice that obviously you're supporting the drivers, and you've got a little competition this weekend?
Yeah, we are giving away a set of coilovers to our favourite car here, and we've got I've got a couple of personal favourites in mind.
Well, that's the other beautiful thing. We've got a lovely car show on this weekend as well. Some awesome cars out here on display, and Yellow Speed are very nicely and very kindly offering out a set of coilovers to one of the best cars in show. And if you're not here, then you don't get to see him and you don't get to win.
Well, there you go, Matt down there with Yellow Speed and Tig White. They're doing good things and giving away a set of coilovers. Should have brought your Corsa over there, Sarah. You might have got it towed. Yeah,
do you think my dad would be happy if I took it home with brand new coilovers on? Yeah.
Took it home, slammed.
It's already got a matte black bonnet and boot. That's,
very
bit street, isn't it?
Yeah. So on the line, you can see Ian Biz Phillips. He pulls up to lead out Alistair Sutton for a spot in the final four. Phillips, for me, has been a very lucky boy this weekend. He nearly didn't make it into top 24, and he nearly didn't make it into the Grade 8. Well, he's there right now. Can he make it into the final four? They're off the line. Phillips to lead out Sutton. And look at this from Sutton. Mr. Cool, calm and collected. Just keeping his distance. As I'm absolutely flying into outer zone 3. And you can see Sutton there, just giving Phillips some room to manoeuvre, not gaining too much proximity, not trying to do too much too soon. As you can see, though, in the middle of the circuit, he needs to be on that qualifying line as they come now through to outer zone 6. As Alistair Sutton's now going to make the dive and try and get onto the side of that 350Z as they take it across the line, and that's Alistair Sutton making some mistakes, not looking too clever there.
No, a little bit of a scrappy run. Good run from Biz there, Ian Phillips. Like you say, he almost didn't make it through, so he now is really going to be fighting for this, and that was a decent run. He's going to have to put in a really strong chase run now.
He certainly is. He's on borrowed time at the moment, and Ian Phillips didn't really make too many mistakes going into this, but Alistair Sutton, for me, this is what went wrong passively as well. Look at this, he shadowed up the angle hugely, gets himself into the middle of the circuit, trying to shortcut to keep proximity with Ian Phillips, but Ian Phillips is up and gone. That Magnuson supercharged V8 under the bonnet at 350Z, absolutely singing this weekend. We are ready to go now. Sutton to lead and Phillips to give chase now. Phillips, can he slow that car down? That's the biggest question. Can he drive it slowly behind Alistair Sutton, because we know Sutton's not got the most horsepower on the grid. As they come through off the line and through the gears down, Alistair Sutton, nice tentative entry there. He's very shallow, is Sutton. He doesn't get out to that wide line. He's got to really massage that car out into outer zone 2, and he certainly does. Ian Phillips, though, doing a sterling job in that chase position. He's caught his calm a little bit there. Goes door to door into outer zone 4 there now as he starts to push Alistair Sutton around the teardrop. And Ian Phillips doing a sterling job in that chase position. Gives Sutton some room to manoeuvre now, makes another dive and gets nice and close and upwards to the door and across the line.
Where I was sat there, Sutton not putting in the best lead run. Phillips looking pretty strong. He didn't let him go. Made a couple of quite close dives on his door, so I don't think he's looked like slightly stronger in that one, but I am not the one to be making a judgment. I could be completely wrong.
No, exactly that. Yeah, like I wouldn't want to judge this weekend because it has been an absolute terror of a weekend for judges. There's been so many difficult and different calls that you just would never see before, and those guys have done a really good job. We'll take a quick replay, a look of Ian's lead. So the judges wanted to see something from Ian Phillips' lead there. I'm going to tell you what they're going to look at. Wheels off track. Here we go. 1 wheel, 2 wheels. Is that 3 wheels off circuit there? Ian Phillips could potentially have knocked himself out there. Yeah, it looks like the judges have come to a decision. Not sure what's going on. Decision's in. Slide them left for Phillips, right for Sutton. Oh, and it's unanimous. Alistair Sutton gets the win. Alistair Sutton gets the win. Judges, will quickly throw it to you. Wheels off track. I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's right, Ian. The reason why we wanted to watch the replay again of the first run is just to confirm that Biz Phillips dropped 3 wheels off the track first as they came through this first corner. So that gave the advantage to Alistair Sutton at 10-0. So the second battle, as long as Alistair put a run together, it was enough for him to go through, and then obviously Biz is out.
So there we go. Biz knocks himself out. Oh, and he's got problems with the car. There's some manpower going on there. The batteries. We're really putting Matt to work this weekend, don't we? He's poncho.
He's earned his stripes this weekend, hasn't he?
He's earned his dinner tonight. He's 2.
Yes, absolutely.
Even the cameraman's down to get involved.
But you see, I was a little bit wrong there, and I will admit that. That was, for me, a strong run from Ian, but I didn't see that he put those 3 wheels off.
I kind of see it, but I didn't want to make a guess if it was more than 1, because it's very, very quick. It passed through so quick, and it looked like it was potentially 2, which is points deduction, but not 3 wheels off track. So we go. Does look like Matt's down there with Ian Phillips. We have to call the recovery guys in to tow Ian Phillips off track. And yeah, Alistair Sutton, that is his best result this year in the pro class, a top 4 finish so far for Alistair Sutton. Alan Hinds, Alistair Sutton, they make their way in. We're going to go down to Matt. He's with an interview with Ian Phillips.
So yeah, I'm here with Biz. I thought he had this weekend. He was on that line and been driving absolutely amazing, but 1 wheel off or 3 wheels off.
Yeah, well, we've been pushing it all weekend, and to be honest, I'm super chuffed to be where we are now. It's been a cracking weekend. I think I'm actually still shaking now, so you probably see me rolling on the camera.
The adrenaline.
Yeah, man, that's why we love drifting, especially. But, the qualifying result was fantastic, and where we are now, awesome. So, thanks to everyone for coming today, and, see you at the next one.
How have you been finding it in the rain?
Oh, man, it's been tough out there. I think someone counted about 13 different surface changes out there, so it really is hit and miss. And going down into clip 3, where you've got to have really big kahunas, I think is probably the best way of putting it, to initiate up to there. It's just fantastic.
I can't believe the grip levels that you're having and the control that obviously it is scrappy out there, but obviously the control you've been having around the circuit and how close you can get to those walls.
Oh yeah, man, it's brilliant. It's testament to the team and to the LSZ itself. We've been working on it hard for the last few years, and I think we're really turning a corner with it now.
It sounds awesome with that supercharger strapped to the top of it, man.
Yeah, cheers. And the straight through pipes never make anyone sort of sad, do they? So, yeah.
It's V8 for days, isn't it? It sounds awesome.
Everybody loves a V8.
Thank you very much. Good luck on the next round.
Cheers, guys.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a round of applause, Ian Phillips. Fortunately, knocked out of competition, and his car died on him as well. His car said, "I've had enough. It's rained all weekend. You've been kicking my head in round the circuit, throwing it at concrete walls. I've had enough."
Yeah, well, I don't blame it really. It could probably do with a little rest now.
It can. It's going to have a little rest. It is definitely going to have a little rest, that's for sure. As Ian Phillips makes his way off the circuit, give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as he passes by. And we are almost ready to get the next battle on the line and underway, which I do believe is going to be Adam Simmons to take on Martin Monocott.
It's going to be an exciting one. 2 completely different cars and 2 completely different driving styles. And there's Ian Phillips just being removed from the track, towed away, but he's still smiling, hanging out the window, as we can hear Martin Monocott just in the background there, getting his tyres nice and hot, ready to battle with Adam Simmons. And we've got the thumbs up that these guys are ready to go.
Yeah, off the line, here we go. It will be Martin Monocott now to lead out Adam Simmons for a spot in the final 4. Who's going to take it? As Monocott throws big angle at it. Oh, and Adam Simmons spins. Adam Simmons spins. Adam Simmons spins, we have to red flag that, I do believe, or Adam Simmons has made his way back off the circuit. Picked up another cone, Sarah. We're picking up a lot of cones this weekend.
Yeah, I think we're going to need some new ones. But Malks is down there at the start line, ready to do some cone fishing again.
Some cone fishing. Yeah, he's going to get under the back end of Adam Simmons' car and try and reclaim that cone. And there's not much of the back end left of Martin Monocott's car, so that's why they're not getting stuck under there.
No, exactly. He's all right now because he's left his bumper off.
Left his bumper off. He's done.
So we're just seeing a replay there of what actually happened.
Yeah. So look, judges are going to be trying to assess the damage here. And it does look like Martin Monocott potentially did put wheels off first, going into the boomerang. So Adam Simmons, although he spun, he may be the one with the advantage.
So do you think that with Monocott putting the wheels off, does that potentially kind of throw Simmons off his line a little bit and that's caused him to spin?
Yeah, Adam Simmons would have been following Martin Monocott's wide line and Simmons would have known. He got onto that. You think that part of the track is probably even more slippery, as you can see down on it now. There's like 3 different patches of tarmac on it, so it's going to be deadly slippery. And Adam Simmons got on that, over-rotated, and Martin Monocott finished up the run. But I think potentially now Adam Simmons could be sitting with a 10-0 advantage. So Monocott on the line, ready to go for the second half of the run. And we've got cones stuck under Adam Simmons' car. So Adam Simmons just holding up the action ever so slightly here while we were trying to remove that cone from the underneath of his car. Don't forget, I'll take a quick shout out to our sponsors, obviously, who are here. We mentioned Yellow Speed just a couple of moments ago, but a massive thank you to Samco Sport, Yellow Speed Racing, Excite Energy, Simpson, OBP Motorsport, Corbo, Tarmac Sports, Competition Clutch, Slide Motorsport, Hell Performance, M-Tech Brakes, On It, Funk Motorsport and AM Details. About those guys, none of this would be possible, and it does look like, Sarah, we've got 2 cars on the line and ready to rock and roll. It will be Adam Simmons now to lead and Martin Monocott to give chase. Martin Monocott needs this. He needs to get into the final 4 to seal his championship for the rest of the year. And he is hungry for it as he gets right up close and personal to that DKM Z4 as they fire into that first turn. And Monocott now goes very, very wide. He has to bail out of it. And Monocott bails out of it. A very, very strange occurrence there from both those guys. Look like Simmons slowed that car down massively as well. As now Simmons begins to find his way on that qualifying line. As Martin Monocott tries to chase him down. They get into the final outer zones and across the finish line, and what a very strange battle that was. From the get-go to the finish, that was a very, very strange battle.
Very, very unusual battle. I think Monocott was just shook a little bit there, made an error in the middle of the track and straightened up for, far too long really. Obviously wasn't drifting anymore, so I think that was going to damage him quite a bit. As both drivers just pull into the middle of the track to receive the official result.
So yeah, both these guys pulled to the middle of the circuit, and it does look like our judges have made a decision. Martin Monocott steps out of the car. Oh, one more time. It's a one more time, ladies and gentlemen. And look at that, Martin Monocott throws his hands up in the air, and these guys embrace on the circuit. Judges, I'm just going to quickly assume that it was just wheels off and dirty driving from both guys, and not a clean run in it at all.
Exactly that, Ian.
So there we go.
Martin Monocott dropped 3 wheels off track, so the advantage was Adam. And then on the second run, Adam had a massive error and was in an opposite drift zone. Well, he was opposite drifting when he shouldn't have been, so that was a 10 mil advantage back to Martin. So it's a one more time.
So there we go, one more time, and these guys are just going to quickly have a ganders at the car and then go back to the start line to do battle. You can see Martin Monocott strapping himself in, ready to do battle.
Yeah, I think we've seen and should see a cleaner battle, really. Both drivers in the lead. They're normally a little bit cleaner than that, aren't they?
Yeah, after we see these guys go at it and they go one more time, normally we assume that they would put on a clean battle because they kind of felt each other out a little bit. You know, they kind of know the entry speeds and where the guys are transitioning and what kind of line they're taking. That was a very, very scrappy battle, so I don't think either driver can really take a lot away from that apart from the entry speed. Martin Monocott, look, he's hungry for this. He needs this. And Adam Simmons, he's going to be trying to climb up the championship at the moment. And at this point in the game, with so many big names getting knocked out and so many drivers having problems, we're not sure what could go on. So the door gets closed on Adam Simmons' BMW Z4. As he now makes his way back to the start line. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're sitting at home watching this on the live stream and you're thinking, well, when will the BDC Circus arrive in my town? Well, I can tell you, it will be in September the 14th and the 15th. Round 5 will be held at Three Sisters Race Circuit in Wigan. We'll be there with this crazy, crazy circus and all these crazy, crazy guys. And hopefully we'll be praying to the sun gods for a dry round of the British Drift Championship. And track layout yet for Wigan to be decided, but let me tell you something now. The judges were talking about it the other night and they want to do something special for round 5. So we look forward to that one. Both those guys warm their tyres and get to the start line. And it looks like we are almost ready to rock and roll with the one more time between Monocott and Simmons. And they both get the thumbs up and they are ready to rock and roll. It will be Martin Monocott to lead, Adam Simmons to give chase. And here we go, off the line they come. As we say, these guys felt each other out now, and Simmons want to be back straight on to what's left at the back end of that big Toyota Chaser as they fire in. No wheels drop this time from Monocott. He is absolutely perfect. Now he puts the hammer down. He knows he's in safe territory, but Adam Simmons gets nice and close on the transition, starts to apply the pressure to the side. Oh, but he puts too much angle in it. He's going to put himself in the middle of the circuit. He's going to have to be very careful. Is Adam Simmons now? He transitions miles too early. He's going to have to try and not opposite drift to make it round there. But as Monocott puts the car on the wall and across the line.
Much better race. That is what we wanted to see from these guys. Monocott really strong there. I think Adam's just made a couple of mistakes, but let's see what happens, you know, when Adam gets in the lead and see if he can bring it.
Yeah, Adam Simmons really now. I mean, he put on a very, very good fight. It was a good lead from Martin Monocott. Adam Simmons needs to put down, that 100-point qualifying run and just hope that Martin Monocott makes his own mistakes in that chase position and knocks himself out of the battle. But Martin Monocott's been looking strong all weekend. Just that last battle was probably the worst we've seen him drive all weekend. And Simmons, like I say, Simmons is going to want to beat Monocott for championship points here. This is detrimental for the championship. And Simmons, as we know, finished on the podium in last round. A top 4 finish again will be good for his championship. They come off the line, Simmons to lead in Monocott right on the back end of the little BMW, and they absolutely come flying in. And Adam Simmons is very wide once again. Simmons makes the same mistake again and goes very, very deep into the boomerang in the middle of the circuit now as Monocott stalls that car up massively to not make contact with the side of that little Z4 now as they both transition through the middle of the circuit. Monocott hanging on to the back end of that DKM BMW. They get into the final outer zones and onto the wall and across the line.
Storming chase from Monocott. Adam, unfortunately, just making that error at the beginning and going far too wide after initiation. I think that's going to be a big negative on his part. But let's see, how the judges have seen it overall.
Yeah, I think Simmons knows. Simmons knows. Look, the only way he can get away from Martin Monocott is by out driving him or trying to drive away from him, gain some ground. He had good proximity in his chase, so
very good.
The spotters would have said, look, try and drive away from him, try and escape him. But unfortunately for Adam Simmons, he tried a little bit too much. And decisions in, slide him left for Monocott, right for Simmons. And there we go, unanimous. Martin Monocott gets the win and advances through to the final 4. And judges, we just quickly fire it to you.
Yeah, no, it's unfortunately Adam, sort of dropped 2 wheels off on his lead run there when Martin was chasing. Martin's lead really good. Adam making several mistakes as well behind him, so Martin took a advantage over both runs there.
There we go, Martin Monocott taking the advantage and advancing through. He will face off with Alistair Sutton in the final 4 battle for the podium. As Adam Simmons finishes up a celebratory donut in the middle of the circuit before he makes his way back into the paddock. And we take a glance up to the start line. And do we have the final contenders for the final 4? We certainly do. It looks like that Mega Spec PS30 has made its way back out to the circuit. The 5-minute rule ended and the car was repaired, so they back out. Oliver Bolton was looking very, very strong. If you remember, Tom Murphy making a whole host of errors. So now these guys line back up. It will be Bolton to chase and Tom Murphy to lead. It's thumbs up all round, and this is for the final step in the final 4. Who is going to be in the final 4? Will it be England? Will it be Ireland? Well, there's already one Irishman in there. Can we hold them at bay, Sarah, or can they dominate like they used to back in the day?
I don't know anymore now.
Well, here we go. They're off the line, so we're about to find out. Tom Murphy leads Bolton to give chase, and Bolton knows all he's got to do is put some good proximity on. And look at that nice initiation from Bolton. Big angle dialed in from Tom Murphy, but he's very, very shallow and almost straight. As Tom Murphy making a whole host of errors, dropping wheels on the inside of the circuit. As Oliver Bolton takes a step back, he has a look, he knows that car's wounded, he gives him some room to manoeuvre as Bolton now just does what he needs to do and just gain a little bit of proximity here and there without making any errors. Bolton jumps back onto the side of that PS13 as they come into that outer zone. Bolton puts it door on door, and absolutely offline is Tom Murphy across the finish line.
Yeah, I think a few too many errors really for Murphy. I don't know how they're going to call this, but I think there's definitely too many errors. I mean, did he straighten up before the finish line there as well? I think.
Look, I'll tell you something that I
did.
see that the judges were penalising heavily for in qualifying alone, and that was big handbrake drags, and Tom Murphy handbrake dragged through the centre of the circuit at outer zone 2. That is a full throttle zone.
Yeah.
I mean, Oliver Bolton did a very, very good job there not to make contact, because he even took a step back himself and said, why are you braking here, dude? And that's because there is a problem with that PS13. We don't know what it is. Tom Murphy having issues. I mean, he got rammed in the door by Charlie Hulme earlier, so I mean, there's a few underlying issues with that car. But Oliver Bolton, he kept his cool. He did a very, very good chase. Slide him left for Bolton, right for Murphy. And here we go, one. It's unanimous. Oliver Bolton takes it to his first Final 4 here in the Pro Class. Judges, Tom Murphy there just making an absolute hash of that.
Yeah, it looks like Tom might be stuck in second gear, so he didn't have the legs to pull the speed. He had a massive straighten from clips 2 to 3, and that was almost enough to be a 10-0, so it was advantage Oliver, and Oliver took the win.
So there we go, Oliver Bolton fulfills the Final 4, and Oliver Bolton, well, he'll get 2 shots at the podium. He will face off, though, with the toughest contender of this weekend, Alan Hinds. Oliver Bolton will face off against Alan Hinds for a spot. And then look at that, Oliver Bolton finishes off his run. He goes straight back to the start line. Oliver Bolton will have to take on Alan Hinds right now to be in the final. Who will take it to the final? Will it be Mr. Consistent Alan Hinds? He qualified first. Can he take top step on the podium? Or will it be Oliver Bolton? Will Oliver Bolton, out of nowhere, come in and steal some thunder here at the BDC? Well, he's looking strong, Sarah, and you couldn't knock him out of the fight.
He is. He certainly means business this weekend. He really, really does. But he is up against a very, very challenging battle now. Alan Hinds, he has been on fire all weekend. I mean, he was our top qualifier. The points, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a 94. I'm amazed. It's just brilliant. So he's got a real challenge on his hands now.
He certainly has got a real challenge on his hands. But you know what, for Oliver Bolton, like I said earlier on, this is his rookie year in the Pro Class. Every time he drives his car and every single result he gets, he's absolutely happy, he's blown away by. And for him right now to be in the Final 4 alone is... He's had the best weekend.
Amazing,
he's going to go home a happy guy.
Yeah. Regardless of where he comes, he's going to be so happy about his result.
We've seen some upsets this weekend. Could we see the UK take down Ireland for a spot in the final? Here we go. It's going to be Oliver Bolton to chase down Alan Hinds, and they're off the start line. And look at Bolton, no messing around. Oliver Bolton, Funk Motorsport's very own, is hunting down the side of that Pro Drift S14. And look at Bolton! Oliver Bolton's bringing the fight to Pro Drift right now as Bolton, full of excitement, jumps onto the side now. Oh wow, a contact on the wall from Alan Hinds. As Alan Hinds gets deep into it, Bolton takes a step back, looks at the back of that car and then makes another dive as they transition back onto the wall. Bolton finds the side of that Pro Drift S14 and pushes him across the line.
Unbelievable action. That is exactly what everybody out here waiting in the rain has been waiting for. That Oliver Bolton brought it. He absolutely brought it. He was not letting him go anywhere.
I'm telling you something right now, Oliver Bolton would have watched the live streams from Ireland. He would have been watching Drift Games Extreme the other weekend, and he would have seen Alan Hinds take that third step on the podium. And he would have seen what Alan Hinds did with the Shanahan brothers, the battles he went through and how aggressive he is. And you know what Oliver Bolton said? I have nothing to lose. The Irish are the best of the best around the world right now. I have to stick it to him. If I don't stick it to him, if I don't bring the fight, well, look, he's going to absolutely walk all over me. And Oliver Bolton did exactly the right thing. Look, gets back on the line, he warms his tyres and he pulls up to the start line. He sits there with the door open, looking at Alan Hinds saying, come on, what's up? Yeah. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Let's do this. So our start line marshals there just removed most of the back end there of Alan Hinds' S14. And Alan Hinds now pulls up to the line. The door slams shut of Oliver Bolton's S13. Alan Hinds pulls up to the line. Alan Hinds now to chase down Oliver Bolton. Oliver Bolton in that lead position. Funk Motorsport versus Pro Drift Academy on the line. Two of very close partners of the British Drift Championship. Who's going to take it through to the final? Who's going to go for the third and fourth place playoff? We're off the line. We're ready to rock and roll right now. As Oliver Bolton flicks that car in nice and early. And Alan Hinds starts to bring the fight to the side of the Funk Motorsport S13. Very good line from Oliver Bolton. And Alan Hinds makes a big dive up the inside as Bolton puts the pedal down. Absolutely flying is Oliver Bolton as he gets nice and deep into the outer zone. But Alan Hinds is all over the side of Oliver Bolton as they transition into the middle of the circuit. Bolton gets back onto the wall, but look at Alan Hinds, door on door. Make some noise, Birmingham. That's not even the final, Sarah. It's not even the final.
I've run out of words. You're too excited and your voice is gone.
How can you not be excited?
Unbelievable.
How can you not want to scream and shout from the rooftops when you've got two guys out there that are absolute legends and they are going at it tooth and nail and they are fighting and they are destroying their cars to put on a show for you guys here online and in attendance? You should be absolutely honoured to witness what this is. Ladies and gentlemen, as they get out of the car, please make some noise for Oliver Bolton and Alan Hinds. Decisions in, slide them left for Hinds, right for Bolton. There we go! Alan Hinds gets the win and advances through to the final. Judges, this is just insane from Alan Hinds and Oliver Bolton.
Yeah, again, really good battles there. So, in the first run, Alan's lead was pretty good. He did have a bit of a hard hit at clip 4. That knocks back a little bit, but it wasn't too heavy. Ollie's decent enough proximity, but not fully bringing the fight. When they switch around, Ollie, good lead, nothing really going wrong there, but Alan properly chased. It was a brilliant chase there. Transitions again, properly exciting, and stuck with Ollie all the way round. So he took the win there.
So there we go. Oliver Bolton moves into the third and fourth place playoff. Alan Hinds, he takes a step closer to the podium and he sits in the final ready to go. But who will be joining him? Will it be Martin Monocott? Will it be Alistair Sutton? Well, two cars sit ready to rock and roll, and it will be Martin Monocott who is still in the hunt for that championship. He has stood tall above everybody else this weekend. This could be an all-pro drift final if we're not careful right now. They pull to the line. It's going to be Monocott to lead, Sutton to give chase. So both guys down there warming up their tyres, and you can hear the scream from the back end of Martin Monocott's car as he gets that car warmed up and ready for action. And Alistair Sutton, don't count him out of the fight just yet, because that guy has been absolutely flying today. He's found himself in his first ever Final Four here at the British Drift Championship Pro competition. We get the thumbs up all round and we are ready to rock and roll. It will be Martin Monocott to lead and Alistair Sutton to give chase. And here we go, a place for the final awaits. They're off the line. Monocott absolutely hammering, and look at Alistair Sutton. He knows he's got the faster car. He tucks in at the last minute and dives. But Monocott puts foot down. He just about holds on the circuit. But look at Alistair Sutton not messing around. He knows Monocott's fast. And Alistair Sutton makes another dive into outside zone 3, balancing that car on a foot brake as Monocott gets into the wall one more time and drags the back end along the wall as Sutton sticks it to the back end. Now the transition through outer zone 6 and back onto the wall again. And Alistair Sutton puts the power down, but just can't match the pace from Martin Monocott.
And Monocott there, clip 8 on the wall, just clipping the back of his car, just if there is anything left on the back of his car to actually destroy and rip off. Unbelievable. I don't know what's going to happen next now. I really can't decide. They're both really, really strong.
So there we go, both guys pull up to the line. I've just been fed a little bit of information in my ear from the mathematicians and the scientists down in the van below us, and they're saying to me, check this out, if Monocott wins this battle and he gets himself into the final, he takes the championship mathematically, he leapfrogs Aramis Fiscalis and completely upsets the championship. That's what we like to hear and that's what we like to see. They get thumbs up all round. It's Sutton to lead and Monocott to give chase right now. They're off the line and ready to rock and roll, and look at that as Monocott tags onto the back bumper of that S14 and fires in as Alistair Sutton And Martin Monocott right with him, almost contact from Monocott as they transition now into out of 3. They get nice and close, and Monocott sets his car up perfectly on the door of Alistair Sutton's car, but he's well shallow, almost into the wall goes Monocott as Alistair Sutton keeps his cool and drives that perfect qualifying line. Martin Monocott right with him though, they transition back again, and Monocott now is going to make a dive up onto the door, but he makes a small error and just doesn't gain that proximity. They bring it across the line. Birmingham, show your appreciation.
Unbelievable run once again into clip 3 into clip 4 there. Like you said, Ian, that was quite shallow, Martin Monocott into there, but he had the proximity, so is that still going to give him some advantage?
Yeah, look, Martin Monocott's car is very, very long, so Alistair Sutton was on a good qualifying line. He was nice and close to the wall. If Monocott was, matching it or mimicking his angle, he would have been fully deep into the wall and causing bigger contact. Well, I mean, there's nothing left at the back of that car anyway, so, I mean, slide him left for Monocott, right for Sutton. Look at that, unanimous. Martin Monocott makes it through to the final. And Martin Monocott takes it through to the final. That means that the 3rd and 4th place playoff will be Alistair Sutton to take on Oliver Bolton. 2 good friends, 2 guys that have drove together many, many times before. 2 young Essex guys that have grown up together. They've worked their way through the ranks and they're here in a pro competition to do battle. And you know what that means? Well, it's going to be Pro Drift Academy versus Pro Drift Academy. Alan Hinds to take on Martin Monocott, the finest of the UK versus the finest of Ireland. Who will stand victorious at the top of the podium? Well, only one of those guys can take the top step on the podium, and Monocott heads back to the pits to prepare himself for the biggest battle of the season as Alistair Sutton heads down to the start line. One of these guys are going to take the final step on the podium, and you know what? Both of these guys deserve the final step on the podium because both of these guys have worked their butts off this weekend. They have drove the hardest they've ever drove before. This is the most less forgiving circuit you have ever visited in your life, and these 2 guys put on a show this weekend, and both of them deserve a podium. Here we go. On the line, Oliver Bolton to take on Alistair Sutton, 280 horsepower to take on 440 horsepower, SR20 to take on a BMW V8, S13 and an S14. There's not much in it, but there might just be enough in it.
There might be. We have not been able to predict any of the results really this weekend, and I think it's just carrying on throughout. We just can't guess really who is going to, be victorious in each battle. We can't guess, so I can't wait. I'm excited now. It's the final. I'm excited.
Well, it's not the final just yet.
Well,
I've been on my feet. I've been on my feet since top 16. I couldn't sit down any longer.
Yeah, podium decider. Yeah,
this is the podium decider for the 3rd place playoff.
You know you're excited when you get on your feet and you're like jumping around.
When I'm jumping around,
or are you just cold?
I'm excited. I'm a little bit cold, so I'm moving around to keep warm a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, I haven't made you make too much noise today because I know it's cold. I know you guys have been sitting and standing in the rain all day, but this is for the final step on the podium. We're almost done. The weekend is almost over. BDC round 4 is almost done. Birmingham, will you make some noise for your 3rd and 4th place playoff? Here we go, on the line, Funk Motorsport's very own to take on Alistair Sutton. Oliver Bolton to lead out Alistair Sutton. Look at that, Sutton getting a little jump on the line. He's allowed to do that. He knows that Bolton's got the pace, he's got the grip. He's going to absolutely put everything into this. And Oliver Bolton comes absolutely flying. Listen to Bolton working that car, but look at Sutton onto the side of that Funk Motorsport S13 as Bolton transitions into out of 3, absolutely flying as he makes his way to the wall now. Oliver Bolton puts foot to floor and a little bit of separation opens up. Sutton gives him some room to manoeuvre, now transitions back under the back end of the S13 as they fire it to the wall. Bolton takes the back end off the wall as he pushes across the line.
This is where it starts to get really, really tense. You've got the best of the best battling head to head now, and yeah, what can you say?
What can you say? That was an absolutely incredible battle, and Alistair Sutton brought the chase game 110% there because he really he didn't mess around. He knew that Bolton was quick. He knew Bolton had pace in that car, and you can tell that car's grippy by the way that Bolton's driving it. For me, Alistair Sutton did an impeccable job of chasing. Bolton's going to be on the radio now to his spotter, and his spotter's going to be saying, well, son, you're going to have to really throw everything at this one because Alistair Sutton, he's got 1 step on that 3rd place, and if you're not careful, you'll be going home empty-handed, but just with the bragging rights to say that you was in that top 4 in a pro competition. They go back to the start line. It will be now Bolton to chase down Sutton for a spot, the final spot on the podium. Are you guys ready? Gonna need some more noise for the final, but that's all right. We're not there yet. They're off the line. It will be Sutton to lead out Bolton for a spot on the podium. Here we go. They fire in. Nice initiation from Sutton. He's caught Bolton ever so slightly unaware. Now Bolton starts to apply the pressure. Bolton starting to bring the fight now as he transitions back into outer three. He makes a big dive up onto the door, does Oliver Bolton, as he gets very close, almost contact on the wheels there, as Bolton starts to push Alistair Sutton through the centre of the circuit. An early transition back from Bolton as he sets himself up to get on that perfect line. And look at this, wheel to wheel, door to door, as Bolton pushes Sutton across the line.
Two amazingly strong drivers there, but Bolton applying the pressure, diving on his door more than once around there. I mean, out of clip 3 into clip 4, he was on there. There was almost contact with the wheels.
There was almost contact. Oliver Bolton was almost going to knock himself out there because he dialed on so much angle that his wheel and Alistair Sutton's wheel almost made contact. That would have spun him. That would have spun Oliver Bolton, and he did a sterling job there.
Very risky.
All we need to know is, judges, do we have a decision?
Yes, we do.
So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're taking that one to the podium. Birmingham, make some noise for your 3rd and 4th place playoff. So that's it, that's done. One step on the podium's taken. Who's got it? We don't know. Could it be Funk Motorsport's very own Oliver Bolton? Could it be Alistair Sutton? Like I said earlier, both of those guys deserve it, but only one can take it. That battle's done and dusted. That's in the books. Alistair Sutton waves to the crowd and everybody here in attendance. But in the back, out the back there, all the way down at the start line, I can see the green front end of an Irish monster.
And there
we have 2 left.
He's there, look. He's compadre for this final playoff. Is just lining up next to him. He's going to warm up his tyres. He's going to pull up next to him and go, I'm bringing this, mate.
Well, they're both going to have to bring this. On the line, it's going to be Alan Hinds to lead out Martin Monocott. And Nissan versus Toyota S14 versus Toyota Chaser JZX. 2 JZ versus 1 JZ. 550 horsepower versus 700 horsepower. The pride of the UK in one hand, the pride of Ireland in the other hand. Birmingham, are you ready to see your final? Not good enough. Not good enough. No way ever am I going to send the final with you guys making little noise as that. Everybody in the grandstands, are you all sitting down? I can't see. Are you guys all sitting down? What I want you to do is I want you to get your feet and I want you to stamp them on the floor. Can you all do that for me? In 3, 2, 1. Grandstand, make some noise! That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, on the line, we have your 1st place qualifier, Alan Hinds. He is ready to lead out Martin Monocott for the spot on the top step of the podium awaits. Pro Drift Academy's going to get it. What one's it going to be? The young gun or the OG? Here we go. UK versus Ireland is off the line. And look at Monocott. No messing around. He knows that Hinds is hungry and he wants that UK podium as they both come flying in. But Hinds is deep. Hinds is very, very deep into that zone. He transitions back and Monocott almost makes contact with him as he now makes a big dive up onto the side. Hinds gets nice and close to the wall one more time as they absolutely push each other around the track and almost contact as Monocott balances that car perfectly on the back end of that S14. Monocott hungry for the win. He dives onto the door and across the line.
Unbelievable run from both drivers. I would expect nothing less, really. It's the final and these guys always bring it all the way through the battles, but we have a couple of little issues there. I don't know which way this is going to go because we had Hinds going a little bit wide at the beginning. Monocott had a little bobble just going into sort of clip 7. We'll let the judges deal with that. Let's see the next run.
We certainly will let the judges deal with that because I tell you what, I don't want to be calling the final. Ladies and gentlemen, this could potentially be the last run of the day. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be the last run of the day. So I want every single person from all the way down there at the yellow gate on outer zone 4, all the way around past the judging tower, past the Excite Energy Camp, all the way down to on the track, the grandstand. I want everybody here in 3, 2, 1 to make some noise. Birmingham, make some noise! Toby? Let's send the cars. We are ready to go. It's Monocott to lead, Alan Hinds to give chase. Who is going to be on the top step of the podium after this run? We're about to find out. They're off the line. Monocott slams that car through the gears. Alan Hinds starts to tag onto the back end of what's left of that Toyota Chaser as they fire into the initiation, and Monocott absolutely flying right now. Alan Hinds stuck to the side of his teammate as they come firing into outside zone 3, and look at this, Alan Hinds hungry, almost rubbing wheels as they smash into the wall, and they're side by side through clipping point 5 as they transition into the middle of the circuit. A little bit of ground has opened up now as Monocott puts the foot down, but Alan Hinds jumps straight back onto the side of his teammate. Contact across the line.
Ian's lost his voice, he is done. Stick a fork in Ian, he's done. Monocott there hitting that wall at the end. It's just almost sent him into a spin. Both drivers just heading back down to the middle now. Ready for the podium. Who has taken first place?
Ladies and gentlemen, as these guys pull up in front of you, I want you to make some noise. Our judges just taking a quick look back at the replay of this one. And both these guys absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, guys trying to assess who or if any wheels were dropped on that first half of the run. An incredible battle between these titans. Birmingham, make some noise! Martin Monocott and Alan Hinds, Pro Drift teammates, going head to head and absolutely destroying their cars for your entertainment. They take a look up at the big screens to see what they just created. They created history and memories, and you can see here, this is the lead from Monocott. Alan Hinds absolutely flying. Look, glued to the side. The transition, this is where it starts to get sticky. He gets absolutely into it there, does Alan Hinds. Glues himself to the side of his teammate. A little wash there from Monocott. We missed out on the live stream, but incredible driving from both these guys. And you know what, the end of the run could have ended in absolute tears as they transition onto the wall. Both these guys side by side, and look at this contact and a little nudge from both the guys. Incredible stuff. Well, the most important thing is, judges, we need to know, do you have a decision?
Yes, we do.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the podium.
Martin Monocott is just down on the grid there, right next to the podium. He won't be able to wait to find out what the result is. He is with our reporter, Matt House.
So Martin, before we give the result, on points now, the mathematicians have been on it, and you are now leading the championship.
Yes! It means a lot because I've done well at Driftland, but that could have meant nothing. If you don't do it again, then it don't mean anything. But this one means a lot more today, obviously, just because you've sort of confirmed you are up there, brilliant.
Well, that's it. We haven't even given today's result, but just on points from today, you are now leading the championship with 2 rounds to go. I mean, do you think we can take it?
You've got to say yes now, haven't you? You've got to. I'll keep smashing the back end until I get there, or don't, anyway.
Keep smashing the back end, fill those nitrous bottles up, and let's go play. Right, thank you very much. We're going to, obviously, very shortly get onto the podium and get you the results. I'll give it back to the tower whilst we get prepped. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Matt. Yeah, Matt's going to get ready down there with the trophies and the champagne, and we're almost ready to hand out those all-important pro trophies for today. You can see our podium being assembled there. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to remind you guys that if you want to know when this crazy circus turns up to your town, well, we'll be in Wigan at the Three Sisters Race Circuit in September the 14th and 15th for round 5 of the British Drift Championship. And our judges, they've already told me they're going to create something special there with maybe a different layout. We're yet to find out. We're not going to give you all the secrets just yet. Keep an eye on the social media, on Instagram and Facebook. And again, a massive shout out to our sponsors, Samco Sport, Yellow Speed Racing, Excite Energy, Simpson, OVP Motorsport, Corbeau, Tarmac Sports, Competition Clutch, Slide Motorsport, Hell Performance, M-Tech Brakes, On It, Funk Motorsport and AM Details. Without any of those guys, we wouldn't be able to put on this free live feed, this free live stream. You get to sit indoors with your feet up watching me and Sarah talk about cool cars drifting all weekend. And yeah, look, those guys supporting us massively, even coming here this weekend and putting on some stuff for you guys, especially the Pro Drift Academy, who literally smashed it this weekend and got both cars on the podium. We are almost ready. As soon as I get the nod, I'll be doing the all-important thing, handing out some trophies. That's the best part of the weekend, Sarah. Sarah, round 4, I didn't make it to round 3. Did you miss me? Is it better?
I did miss you a lot. I have to say, Ben filled your shoes quite nicely.
He
We
does
had a
do
good
that.
laugh. We had a good laugh. But I did miss you. I'm glad you're back.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going anywhere. If you think that's the end of me, no, you're not getting rid of me that
Can't get rid of
You're not
you.
getting rid of me that easy. I will be back for BDC round 5 and round 6 at Buxton before the end of the year. And as soon as I get the thumbs up, I'm going to be giving out the trophies. Of the first trophy I'm going to be giving out is going to be the Exciting Hard Charger trophy, and that goes to a driver this weekend that the judges deemed drove absolutely incredible. They drove above and beyond what they always do. And yeah, look, I've got the piece of paper in front of me. I know the all important. I know the decisions.
It's official.
I know the decisions. I know what's going on. So I am just waiting to see if Matt is ready to rock and roll. Matt, are you ready down there? I've got the thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do the podium. First up, the first trophy of the day will be your Exciting Hard Charger, and this goes to a guy who deserved it no end. Taking home the trophy for Hard Charger this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Oliver Evans. Oliver Evans put on some of the most deadliest chases that we've seen today. Oliver Evans, if you want to make your way down on track and receive your trophy and get your photo taken, that would be amazing. That guy, Sarah, look, I told you he was going to mess stuff up, didn't I?
It's switched things up quite nicely, hasn't it? It's become very interesting.
He certainly has. And look, Oliver Evans, I said to you before, he can either, not have the perfect weekend, or he can, he could come in out of nowhere and absolutely ruin the championship, and that's what he done this weekend. And he said to me he was going to get a trophy, he was going to get one for his dad, for his happy birthday to Old Spice, and he did it.
He's done it.
He got a trophy
He's
for
done it. He's
he got
driven
a
the
trophy for his
socks
dad.
off that car this weekend.
So we're just waiting for Oliver Evans to make his way down onto the circuit to receive his Hard Charger trophy. Is he there? Is he there? Is the hero there? There he is! Give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, to Oliver Evans. Yes, it mate, pick up the pace. We're just waiting for you. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Oliver Evans taking home the Exciting Hard Charger trophy this weekend, and well deserved. That guy drove incredible all weekend, and there we go. Bottle of champagne, a nice glass trophy, and a can of Excite energy drink. And he's trying to put that back, mate. You did deserve that one. Look, that's done. That's done. That means we get now down to the business part. That means we get to give away the free trophies to the guys that deserve them. We want to end up on the podium, and I can tell you that taking the third step on the podium drove a Nissan. Ladies and gentlemen, raise the roof for Oliver Bolton! Oliver Bolton, ladies and gentlemen, he takes third step on the Pro Championship. And incredible stuff. Oliver Bolton, his rookie year in the Pro Championship. He said to me at the beginning of the year, I don't deserve to be in the Pro class. Well, tell you what, sunshine, yes you do. Well deserved. Oliver Bolton takes third step on the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for Alistair Sutton. Alistair Sutton get himself into that top 4, the best result he's got all year. Incredible drive. And that just takes us down to the final 2 steps on the podium. And I can confirm, taking first step on the podium, the Pro Drift Academy driver, Alan Hinds, ladies and gentlemen. Alan Hinds takes the win. Martin Monocott takes second place here at round 4 of the British Drift Championship 2019 at the Birmingham NEC. Sarah, I don't even know if I've got any words left to say. All I will say is thank you for being my co-commentator and bringing me some strength this morning when I needed it. It's been an absolute pleasure. Guys, me and Sarah will be back September the 14th and the 15th.
We will.
At Three Sisters. From me and Sarah and everybody here at Birmingham, we wish you a safe journey home. Take care and see you soon.
Peace out.
are Funk Motorsport, your heat management specialists. Based in the UK, we strive for perfection, developing thermal products trusted by professional race teams and drivers worldwide. Performance, protection, reliability.
Tarmac Sports.